And
like that,
we're back.
back.
But no, this is the To Be Fair show,
Mhm.
and I am filling in as host. Johnny P. He had some, just some things that he had to kind of do, but
Mhm.
we're about to have a really great episode.
Yes,
Again, I'm the
yes.
host. I'm Q,
Oh, here, real
and special guest.
special guest. Yes.
We got Kenny. Kenny, talk to him a little bit. Let them know who you are, so they know who they bullying in the chat.
What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? I'm Ken. Friends with Real. You know what I'm saying? I go way back. You know what I'm saying? A couple. What was about 2018?
Yeah. Like 2018. It was a little before that, actually.
You know what I'm saying? Met him on the job. Definitely a big fan of the show. Been watching you guys for quite some time. So I'm
Appreciate
excited
that.
to be a part of. Appreciate the invite for both of y'all.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
no problem, bro. Glad to have you on here, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right. With that said, y'all see the title. We are kind of continuing, maybe finishing, or maybe we'll continue to continue. It just depends on the music arc.
Mm.
And this week we're going to round off the music arc with a bit of one of those questions. Sometimes we you can't hear.
No, I was about to say real quick before we start off the music art, I want to shout out Angie Stone.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
big shout out
R.I.P.
to her.
Stone,
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, like within the music art, what you often hear is top five. Like, what's your top 5?
Mhm.
And typically, if you've ever noticed, most people's top 5 tends to revolve itself within the era that they enjoyed the most.
Mhm.
And I think that makes for a more interesting conversation that can be extrapolated from it, which we could do both sides of the coin. We could talk about one, what is the best era of hip hop? And on the other side, what was the worst era of hip hop? So with that said, we got a guest in the building. I'm gonna let you start this one off. Let's start off with what was the best era. If you want to define out what you mean by era, maybe we can go with like a good 5 to 7 year space inside music. But define out what the era is that you're talking about, and let us know why it's the best era and the other eras were shitty.
Okay. All right. So for the best era of hip hop, are we going just like off decades, or are we just doing
Let's because I don't want to just say like 2000s, 80s, 90s, because I think it's sub eras within that.
Right.
Like whatever you believe is the best.
What was
like
your
it
favorite
doesn't have
time?
to be like a
Because
full
77 to 83 was totally different. Then.
very different.
Yeah. So in saying like 2010 to 2014 is way different than
Right.
2016 to 2020. So yeah, just kind of however you want to break it down.
Yeah.
That's why I say like maybe within like a 5 to 7 year window or something like that. To me in music, that kind of defines a little bit closer than like a full 10-year range.
Okay, so I kind of think we got like some golden ages. So like I would say my first golden age era is probably like the 90s. What I love about 90s hip hop is
and what part of the 90s? Are we talking about like early 90s KRS One,
I would
De
say
La
from
Soul?
like that 94 to like 2000s.
Okay, so we're talking about Juvenile to Nas.
Well, like It Was Written came out what 94?
Oh no, well I'm talking about his first album.
I know Illmatic.
Illmatic was
like Wu-Tang and all of them.
It was written 96 maybe.
Yeah, I think Illmatic was 93 or 94.
Yeah, so like I'm talking about that era with like Outkast, Aquemini. I'm talking about that era with like Wu-Tang. I'm talking about that era with Tupac, Me Against the World. I'm talking about that era with like Buster coming in and all that. Like what I liked about that era so much, everybody was doing their own thing.
Facts.
And it wasn't like no type of like copying, and it was accepted. So that's why I was a big fan of that. Okay. And like my second, probably like right behind that, I do think we had like another golden age, like around that blog era, like with the mixtapes, around that 2000, early 2010 era, and maybe a little bit before then too. But like I was a big fan of the mixtapes and stuff like that too, bro. So
Yeah, you trying to take like
all of it.
Ain't nobody.
Those are my two favorites.
We said favorite.
Okay.
You,
and which was the worst?
Wait, no.
We're gonna do them in second. Okay.
All right. So I guess commenting to where you was at, but then because you also stole one of my answers or my answer. I would say you said 90s hip hop. So do you lean more early 90s, late 90s? Because I guess like there is a bit of a difference between early 90s and late 90s, even from content to like
kind of like around that time for like the Source Awards. That was like what 95, like that.
Well, Source ran for a little bit. For a while.
Like one like.
So you saying more late 90s, so like 95 and up ish. Yeah, because like you said, Equipment that's later 90s. It was written as after the whatchamacallit. Most of what you said. Illmatic was 94. So that was like the earlier part. Yeah. But it sounded like most of everything else you said was probably like the 90 or 94 through 2000, pretty much.
For sure.
Okay. And for me, my favorite, or my bad, I said favorite, the best era, in my opinion, for hip hop, I agree, was the second golden age, which was the blog era, in my opinion, where it was the changing of the guards, where we went from physical to digital. And in that, some of the older rules got stripped for a while. And what I mean by that is sampling. Sampling at that moment during the Dat Piff era age. If y'all remember, everybody in here, I don't know if you used to try and make music or not, but everybody used to say you could sample as long as you're not trying to sell it. Mm-hmm. And this helped usher in a lot of the mixtape era where everybody was experimenting with new versions of sounds and trying to sound different. And it was also like a completely hands-on approach where you could use almost any sample that you could find. Like I remember going through like whether it was the crate digging or like the YouTube digging before the algorithm went crazy, where you could just like go 70s soul, you know what I mean, obscure, whatever. And you could just really dive deep into like a sound until you found something. And then you tried to flip that and sample it XYZ. But a lot of people was doing it during that time. This is where you had like the rapper producer whole thing happened with like the Big Crits and even the J. Coles and like a lot of the guys. Well, Ye is a little earlier, but it became really popular where a lot of the prominent artists that was bubbling either had a direct producer that they worked with to make their sound, or they was kind of doing it both. And I think that era of creativity in the sounds, because of regional, well, it wasn't even necessarily regional, but distinct sounds came back for a quick second, where like the Cleveland rappers, Chip the Rippers and them, they sounded different than like the ASAP Mob, that also sounded different than the Pac Divs in Cali, that also sounded different than I don't know, Young LA inside Atlanta or whatever. Like everywhere, and like the Big Crits in Mississippi, and the Texas niggas that was popping at the moment. Like everywhere still had like a new version of a bubbling regional sound that everybody had a bit of creative freedom. And I think most of the most fire rappers today, Drake, Kendrick Cole, Wale, Big Crit, Big Sean, like Travis Scott, like everybody you would name were actually birthed in that time. I think that was also maybe like the last time talent, the A&R had priority in music, because you were scouting blogs to find talent in comparison to just finding traction.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with a completely different era, and y'all know I ain't a crate digger. You know what I mean? I'm not really one of those guys. My favorite era is gonna come when I first started really driving. When I finally got them 12s that I had been wanting to get in my shit, and I was playing my own shit. And so that would be, I'm talking like around that Savage Life 2, motherfucking Trap or Die, motherfucking the Graduation was around in there.
Okay. So that 05.
There, it's like
this is
03 to like
favorite or best.
No, this is gonna be my favorite, because I mean, y'all.
So then after that, go to the best.
Well, I mean, to me, I think okay. So I do favorite first. So
you
like,
can't say best because you ain't listen to the mixtape era. Your ass was in the army.
Yeah, no, you're right. But that was in like 14 though. Well, 10, that was 10. So like, yeah,
10
it's
to
around in
like-
there. But my era I'm talking about more is like the 2003, and I'm gonna go 2003 to 2010. That's 7.
Okay, and you're saying that's the best.
That's
era
my
of hip-hop.
favorite. That's my favorite, where niggas was turning up, but then you also was getting some you know what I mean? You was getting college drop out of graduation.
Mm-hmm.
You was getting both sides. So like if I had the 2 12s in the Monte Carlo, I had like 6 12s in the Monte Carlo. I'm got the drought done came out, drought 3 out, goddamn sky's the limit and all of that. You know what I mean? That was a time. It's like I never was a nigga that like walked around with the Walkman. I wasn't really that guy that walked around with the Walkman and listened to music while I'm just doing other shit. Really the time I listened to music was in the car. So I was gonna have something with some 8s, motherfucking looming tough.
So if I was to, I'm still gonna press you to try and get you on bet which you believe is the best. But you said 03
to 10.
Mm-hmm. And so I guess if I'm trying to get you to shrink even that down, because to an extent, like you're going from crunk music to trap music.
That's 7 years. You said like 5 to 7.
I guess this is the point that I'm making is like from there, like that goes from crunk to trap to snap to then also the blog era. All is inside that 7 year
period. I understand.
So we're like it's kind of like a bunch of
different things, and that's what makes it. That's what makes it like know what I mean. Why I really liked it, because you were able to get all of those things at the same time.
But if we say like the front end or the back end of the 2000s,
okay.
And what about that distinct time?
I ain't gonna fraud. I think that like for me, it's gonna be the well, I guess that's the back end of it. More of like the when the recession come out, it's album
like
based.
06-ish.
So yeah, so it's gonna be like the back end of that.
So like 06 to 09, pretty much.
Goddamn, you gonna give me 3?
No,
06, 7, 8, 9. That's really 4. But
okay.
06,
it was 08.
06 to 07 is 1 year. 07
8, yeah. You only giving me 3 now.
Huh? But what? Depending on how you want.
But this is
because then if you're saying 09 to 010, that means you start. It's like however you decide count. You ain't got to do math, but either way,
think about
like
the fan.
06, 07, 07.
I like
But if you want to say 4.
So what it is it's going to be more production value for me. I remember I missed like the big music where the songs were anthems, where you had T.I. dropping motherfucking top back, and like where the songs will be, you got the horns, the 8s, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
that's like
all of that
06,
shit.
05,
Where,
06.
you know what I mean? Because like I say, I'm a sub guy. Like I've
like,
always, I couldn't never. Like even now, I struggle with the family car not having subs in it. Like I already got an amp that I just purchased, and I got 2 12s that P3s, but I don't want to put them in there because I had those already in my other one, and I want something a little, you know what I mean? Give me a little bit more girth pause, and and so like that's really big for me. Like I do like, you know what I mean? I'm a cold guy. You know what I mean? I'm a cold, I like that sound, but like for me, the shit that really get me going was always those bigger sounding anthem. You know what I mean? And we were also on the drum line during that time period. So that music just passed to Troy, stay true, motherfucking, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're right. This shit, yeah. I'm talking about.
That's a different time frame.
That's a little.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about.
We're trying to make like.
I see what you say. You're trying to make it smaller.
Yeah, because like Project Pat, that's like 01.
So let's leave Project Pat. Let's leave Project Pat. We talking the Stay True, Savage Life, Recession, Graduation.
Yeah, you like 06.
Yeah,
it's
like 10. I said
06 to about 2010.
Nothing that you said was 2010. Like everything, like Graduation, that's still like 08,
that was
09.
07.
Yeah, like everything you're naming is between 06 and
07.
That's why I was saying like, everything you named is like. I just looked up King. Which one call the album?
Yeah, T.I.
That was 06.
I would start your year in about 04, bro. If I'm thinking about it.
04.
Oh, because some like that music kind of started there, like kind of with the Little John train, and then it moved forward. Like
yeah, but I like the back end of the Little John. Like I really that wasn't it. It was more. It was a little bit more.
All right. So now, objectively, what would you say
when Savage
was
the
Savage Life was Savage Life 2 was the one that was Savage Life 2
I think
was 05. Right. It was 05.
Yeah. So now, objectively, what would you say was the best era of hip hop and why?
The best era. This is the thing. Like I understand that we like to like give. I like to give kudos to the old school. I like the way that literature is being used in the art form of rap now. Okay. Where you're getting those double and triple entendres, and you're getting the different. They're utilizing like a lot of even the flows, they're trying to push the limits of what we've heard. And I respect it. Not of
So
course.
Are you saying right now is the best era?
I ain't gonna say, man. The thing I wouldn't say the best, but like y'all already named the. You know what I mean? What I can't
give me a chance because I got something there for mine.
Oh, go ahead. What
yeah, and like me and his is different though. He said the mid 90s.
No, I understand that it's different, but it's not. I'm not going to say the same thing that y'all said. Y'all already said that, so I'm gonna pick the best.
I'm just asking, like whatever you think is the best, whether it agrees or disagrees. It's just what you like. If you had to stand on the best era, best quality of music that was getting pumped out in hip hop.
Well, I'm just gonna stand where I was, bro, and it's gonna be it's production value for me. It's production value for me. That was the best. But the best listening experience that I had that was like the most inspiring would have been the same shit.
05 to like 09ish, 08ish.
Even though I was on more of the ignorant music and Gucci dropped. When Gucci dropped, he was talking about Zaytoven. Zaytoven came out of nowhere, bro. Yes, and changed the fucking game. He changed the sound of hip hop for a minute, like or rap for a nice minute. So like that time period was definitely my favorite, and I'll say that's the best.
Okay, so mine is I'm kind of got a push-pull. Favorite or best first? Because like my favorite is kind of like up for two eras and it's for the same exact reason.
Rel, he cheated. We were supposed to be doing the best. Let's stay with the best.
Okay, so if I had to say the best, I would give it to like I would start at maybe like 97 and go to I would say like about 97 to about 04, 05. Like, and the reason why is because you had a whole bunch of artists that came out during that time that really pushed stuff forward and that was doing different things. Like you had DMX.
I think those are two different eras, though, in my opinion.
What, like
the sound of music completely.
You told us a 7-year period.
I thought I said like 5 to 6 years.
I mean, like bro, all that happened was different artists came out. It ain't that the sound just drastically changed. You just had different artists that came out. Like
97 is volume 2. Maybe I think that's volume 2 Jay-Z. 04 is the Carter 1.
But you still had similar stuff still coming out. Like a good portion of high school, we still had similar stuff coming out from Jay-Z and Nas and all these different type people.
Jay-Z sound in 02 is way different.
Okay, well, if you want to take it 97 to 03, if that makes it better. I just think 04 was kind of like a shifting year. Like, so it was like you kind of got the finalization of what this old hip hop was. And then it was like Jeezy and Gucci and all of them started coming out in like 04. So it shifted to something else. But like that 97 to about 03, like it was an interesting time period because you got a lot of different types of hip hop during that time. Okay. You had you had a range, like you had like Eminem and D12 doing stuff. That was interesting to me. Like
Saint Lunatics.
Yeah, Saint Lunatics.
Yeah, that was the time right there.
You had a whole bunch of different artists coming out. Wayne them started, Cash Money came out within that time period. All the artists came, like a lot of the different artists came out during that time period where it was like Cash Money came out like 2000.
No.
999 what it was
no.
what were they came out with the 2000, so they was out in what 97.
Yeah
so it's Hot Boys like 97 and
they were out like all right, so we don't have to get into like
it's still within the era of what I was saying though.
It's like 91.
Well, yeah, I was like Cash Money and No Limit were around for a while. Like even like the Mystical,
they really started getting big. I remember in 6th grade, that's when I really started hearing Cash Money heavy. I was in 6th grade in like 2000. So I started hearing Cash Money or
the Hot Boys had already came out. Big Thomas had already came out. Juvenile's 400 Degrees had already came out way before 2000.
Bro, what I'm saying is they started popping when doggone Back That Ass Up came out.
No, Juvie was already huge,
bro. In New Orleans.
I'm saying, like y'all know, huh?
Bro, can I ask? No.
Han was one of the records, bro. I remember why I was.
What I'm saying, just because you knew the music, I didn't hear nothing.
Hold on.
He was on the radio.
The thing is to tell me, y'all, we all remember where we lived at when Han came out.
Yeah.
Like you remember that song.
So they was out at the same time in 98 with Cash. I mean, not Cash Money, with No Limit, because No Limit had 98 on lock.
They were literally beefing in New Orleans at the same time.
And I wouldn't listen to
like you had they also made like
I think
they also made like mad like Project Chick. Well, that's close to like 2000. Yes. But like the Hot Boys, that whole run was like 96, 7, 8.
I remember them niggas taking over in like 99 when I was in 6th grade. 5th grade, I don't remember much about them. That was like Eminem's time. Eminem had that junk on lock when I was in 5th grade.
I think
that was like 99.
I think their era kind of ended closer to like 2002.
I was never a fan of Eminem, bro. my older brother, you know how you got your older brother and he's like the biggest influence that you have, especially when Pop's not around. And this nigga was a diehard Eminem fan. And I just never really, I know the words. No, because bro, he just was always saying some crazy shit. But my brother was also counterculture.
I looked at him as like a parody rapper.
Like your nigga talking about killing his moms and shit, bro.
That's
I never really like my mom never
shit.
made me that mad, bro. Like I was never trying to off mom Dukes, bro. That was not a fucking thing, bro. She pissed me off now, but I was never that mad. That never crossed my mind.
Yeah, I'm still gonna stick to my era though, because all of this still fit within the era I said anyway. So like 97 to 03, I definitely think that was the joint. With big shout outs to like I would say like 88 to maybe 93, and that was for a different reason. I'm just discovering that. But like if you look at that time period, a lot of the hip hop that we got from today is because of what they was doing in that time period. And on top of that, they're the ones who made hip hop to the point where it was like really popular and it was in everything. They pushed it forward so much to where like Kid and Play, they was the ones who really pushed that jump forward. Like, so it's like I don't want to negate them, even though I wouldn't say their music was the best. It's just what they did.
There's an argument to say that they were probably the most impactful.
Yeah.
Because that was the era where rappers changed, like the style of rap changed. This is when Rakim, is it Kumo D, KRS-One. I know I'm sure Uncle will fill in like the blanket. It's like one or two more, but the way that they started using syllables completely changed prior to that. Like the LL Cool J, Run DMC way of like their flow patterns and rapping. Like when you start getting Rakim, Paid in Full, when you start getting like a lot of those guys, that they like that was the evolution of the flow and the way people started piecing up syllables and rhyme schemes. I think that's probably the most impactful and influential because of that went all the way to like the Feel Me flow with whatchamacallit, Naughty by Nature, where now you introduce the triplet patterns. You introduce like the, you know what I mean? A lot of things that when we say like niggas is getting off rapping, well, that came from that time.
Right? Was that Bone Thugs?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like Bone.
I can't remember when Bone came out. Bone might have been a little. I feel like it was like 95.
That was my same era. Yeah, I'm a huge Bone fan, so like Bone.
Yeah, but by that era, it was like it was already pushed there. It was like by 88 to 93, they was working for it because they had changed from that whole Curtis Blow. Yeah. It was like the flow switched up, and they
like the master MCs kind of.
They made it the thing. Like they popularized it. They was dancing. They was doing political movements. They was doing everything. So it was like, yeah, that joint was it.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like that moves us into what we feel is the worst era of hip. Oh, well, actually, Tone. It looked like we done got some comments in here. We might want to read a couple of them just to show them a little love.
Shout out to the chat.
Shout out
Appreciate
to the
y'all.
LTO said round it off, not cap it though, right? When you said round it off at the beginning, I'm starting at the top.
Oh, round it off.
You know, we ain't gonna cap it though. We'll probably keep it going some as far as the music conversations.
Oh, okay, yeah. Not cap it. I was lost for a second. Yeah,
I was too. I ain't gonna lie. I was gone.
Oh yeah, shout out LTO. That is a new voice that came on from the music
pretty consistently too. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Lisa Mix said 93 to 99 for me. Everybody being creative and original. The worst era would be towards Uzi Vert and Yachty era.
Nah, facts.
LTO says she still said it depends on what the criteria is. Just whatever year you think is the best, even though Q said 7 years and then made us change.
we ended up at 3 years, guys.
I like 5. I like the idea of like shrinking it to 5, just because even the more I thought about it, like 7, it's so many different eras that still kind of sit in there.
Coast Contra is the best talent in hip hop history. I can't necessarily deny that.
I deny it.
I think they pretty talented.
At
least one of the guys.
I mean, if you say talent,
he said the most talent. No,
or the best talent. He said the best talent in hip hop.
What's I put Spillage Village over them niggas.
They tough though.
That's Earth Gang and JID. Them motherfuckers.
Yeah. I had to think about it. That's ain't the best. You know, if I don't agree, I debate real quick. Let's see. Juvenile 96 to 04.
Ooh. Hey, let me ask this. I said Chikwe, he put in Juvenile 400 degrees. I tossed this out earlier this week. I was just inside like my music bag, and I think that these are 2 certified classics, and I want to know which one of y'all put over which. We got Juvenile 400 Degrees, like certified Southern classic, and we have Mr. Don't Play, Project Pat.
Oh man, I know what I'm going with.
Oh yeah, you talk about who
remember what was on
Whichever, like, and again,
Which one better?
like, and let me see if I can run off. I want to try and run off a couple because 400 Degrees does have like 400 Degrees on it, but it also has Back That Ass Up. I want to say Hans on there.
Hans on there.
Like it got records.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Damn, was ODB still around during this time period you're talking about?
But I'm just comparing these 2 albums right here.
Oh, okay.
400 Degrees, Mr. Don't Play.
Yeah, we'll see in a minute. If you
Kenny, talk to me.
Oh yeah.
Come on, Kenny, talk to me, brother.
So me, I think that Project Pat.
I'm gonna have to go with Pat too. I'm going with Pat too.
Got the edge, especially in the whip, like you was just talking about.
Bro.
Man, you got the sound, the subwoofers.
What?
It's like everything you will want in the album, and a lot of people that kind of think like Project Pat not that lyrical, but Project he actually be spitting. He be spitting. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people was like,
he was another like innovative flow person. He also like pushed the limits of like how rhyme scheme, like Southern rap, like how people approach rhyme schemes in Southern rap. Like he was one of the guys that would do, what is it, ABAB rhyme schemes instead of like AABB.
Yeah.
But then he'll also like flip it with like a staccato triplet on that rhyme, if that makes sense.
Right. He definitely had his own flow for sure.
For sure. That was pretty easy, even though it kind of was hard. But that Pat just dropped different, bro. That shit just dropped different.
Yeah, I would say Project Pat, but I also what spurred this. I was at one of my son's games, and the DJ was an older cat, and he was running down the pretty much through the entire game. He was just running down the Cash Money discog, and there was just an era of old heads that, especially when that Juvie was dropping, them niggas knew religiously every single word. I think also he commented on the post and he said 400 Degrees, but it's a certain era that like Juvie was speaking to them niggas. I think like our era, like our age group, 3-6 and Project Pat, they were like they was really special to our group. I think everybody that's inside my age range probably say Project Pat.
Yeah.
Chicken.
What?
Hey, when you get grown, that song take a whole different meaning when you be listening to it, bro. It'd be a whole bunch of music I wasn't grown enough to listen to.
No, facts. That's why you wouldn't. Mom Dukes was not letting you hear that shit, bro.
Yeah.
That was back during the time where your mom was listening to gospel music, bro. Anytime you was in the car with Mom Duke, she was playing gospel music, but then you was listening to Chicken Head and all kind of shit when you wasn't around.
Bro,
I put my grandfather on Project Pat.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I was like at the Boys and Girls Club, you know what I'm saying? Putting the Project Pack on. He was like, what is this?
You had the edited version?
I had to edit the version.
Okay. That worked. Yeah.
Yeah, that just be funny though. You listen to it grow and be like, dang, it's a whole lot of chicken heads around. I didn't know the song was about them. All right. He said, if you're going to go on Ask Q, said the difference in styles are vast. You have to go with 88 up until 2001. I know it's a lot of years, but in these years, it mattered in originality.
Yes, I'm saying, like I want to break up. Like you could do almost like 3-year periods.
There's no way that counts, Unc. If my fucking 7 years didn't count, there's no way.
I should have put it
at 3. Get off with a decade and a half.
I feel like a 3-year gap probably would have been like better because it'd force you to be like real specific.
Yeah, they rely heavy on beats now. Chopper City in the Ghetto.
Hey, I couldn't really get with Chopper, but like Nick, that was another one of them. Like Cheekway, he's probably in that age group that I'm talking about. Them niggas loved like the Ghetto D and Paul's, but like all those guys.
But at least
that's crazy.
Like that.
Jeez.
Oh
yeah,
man.
keep going.
Juvenile actually came out in 97 with Ha. That was on 400 Degrees. And I found out about it because I was one of the first people to have the internet. And it was one of the first hip hop chat rooms.
That nigga Elk said he was the first person that had the internet.
No, he was one. Like we was quote unquote in the hood, but my father and Unc, they were two people that was like a step ahead with a lot of shit. Like I had internet
Mm.
early, but like all the way like maybe like 92, 93-ish. Like I remember he had like internet TV when we was like, I probably had to been like 7 or 8.
Yeah,
like it was
that's
like
crazy.
some new version of it. I remember I was talking to him the other time. Like they even had like back in the day when they used to demo. It was a time where like right now what they're doing, they was attempting to demo it back in the day with, I'm gonna just say Sega. I might be saying the wrong game console,
Mm-hmm.
but they was doing like Sega TV, in which it was inside like small different demographics that they was trying it, where it's pretty much the exact same thing as how you do games right now, where like you could like if you was plugged into a certain thing, you had access to like 20, 30, 40 different games. But saying all that to say, like they definitely were on internet. And this is like, I don't know why my dad didn't get into actual tech and shit like that. But yeah, but those two, they was probably the two of the first ones that was like heavy on the internet.
That shit almost sounded like how you feel when my pops be like, I own that company. When he talk about the stock market, he'll be like, yeah, I own them. Yeah. To me, to say I was one of the first niggas with the internet, that's I was the first nigga with the internet. That just sounds crazy. But yeah, I get what you're saying though.
Is that what I thought he was saying? Like inside, like within like the realm, like
in the hood. I
guess yeah.
I understand what you're saying. In the hood, I get it.
I would definitely say in the hood, they probably was like some of the. It wasn't too many other niggas that they just had the internet.
No, that's what's up.
The Mac Dre this era was the greatest era.
Hey.
Let me see. Yeah, I love music and I love these combos. Y'all like my age too, I think.
Okay.
400 degrees will always be over it for us.
Let's say Project Ho.
Oh yeah, Project Ho.
That's a random thing to put in there.
Oh.
Now cheese and dope. Cheese, dope. Yeah. All right, she know.
I'm ready to talk about the fight, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, say I mean, Pastor Troy was in it for me too.
Nah,
made it 89 to 96. It's still a bit.
Hey, Quintel ain't going for that, bro.
Yeah, we doing 3 years now. Fuck it.
She started out 5 to 70. Your answer wrong.
He said y'all old as fuck. 7 or 8 and 90. Who was 7 or 8 and 92?
Yeah, I wasn't 7, 8, 92.
I wasn't that. Nah, I wasn't that old. Don't give me that.
Nah, 92. Like I'm 37. So, how would I have been in 92? I'd have been 5. So yeah, maybe that makes me old as hell.
Yeah, I would have been 4.
Oh yeah, she close in age. Yeah, 92. She was 3. Yeah, 4. It's about right.
Yeah.
You said you wasn't born?
I was 1.
Okay, all right, yeah.
No, I was saying I was one of the first people in the hood to have the internet. My bad if it was taken out of context.
Oh no, it wasn't. I was just making a joke.
Oh, he said Sega TV. It was Sega.
Oh,
TV.
it was Sega. All right, I spitballed and then I hit.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, we caught up.
All right. Worst eras. I'll jump off, and no disrespect to him, but if I'm putting a worst era, this is like for me. When I go back, it's hard for me to just listen to a lot of music. There's some shit that came out that is classic. I'm probably going with like I'm gonna shrink it to like 3 to 4 years. I'm gonna go 99 to 2002. I like the change clothes, put on the suit era for like the New York rap is nasty. When I go back and listen to a lot of Pharrell produced sounds during that time, I just didn't really enjoy it. I think that shit aged like hot garbage.
99, 2002.
Yeah, that was that. And Jay-Z's possible like worst produced album came out during that time. I just didn't like it. Like that was the time where I was like, I was being forced to like Fabulous and shit.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was never really a Fabulous fan.
Yeah. Well, I like Fab.
He was cool.
Yeah,
but I was being forced because it wasn't.
No, I see what he's saying though.
Like when you gotta like
to sit and be saying like Fab's the guy.
Yeah, like when he was like,
yeah.
Like I had to like that album.
I got you.
Yeah, that's crazy. I ain't never thought about it like that, but that is crazy. To like even
go back and listen to
rank Fab, like it's like
that production in that time was so
tough.
ass. If it wasn't from the South, it was ass.
Nah.
Even the West Coast shit during that time, ass.
Nah, I remember. Hold on, Blueprint came out during that time period. You talking about?
One of them blueprints sound like ass. He rap good.
You said for real. You said for real. So I started thinking about like what was the tracks I first heard, and it was that used to all the attention, huh? Yeah, but you don't want no commitment, huh?
Probably. Now I'm gonna tell you after you go off of, and it's crazy. Like when you go back and do like the digging, you be like, oh, I remember that sound. That was on the radio. And then you hear all the rest of it. Shit be sounding like Casio made beats. Struggling through it.
Oh no, I definitely don't like that whole like Uzi Vert, that newer thing that came. You know what I mean? That was pushing the sound. I don't know when that happened. It might have been when I was in the military because I didn't know anything about that shit. I came home and it was just like. And initially, I didn't like Young Thug's music either.
Yeah.
I wasn't because I was a big Wayne fan, and so that transition that wasn't something that I was fucking with. But salute to him, you know what I mean, coming home and all that stuff. But just genuinely, I didn't like appreciate that sound. So yeah, that's gonna be whatever that time period is. It's the
that kind of mixes because Young Thug came out during the mixtape era also. For sure.
Oh shit, I was gone for most of the blog time.
Oh, so you saying that's the worst era because you was gone?
I was gone.
And Young Thug came out,
and when I came back, I was just like, no.
All right, Tone.
Man, I'm trying to think about an era that I hate worse than when it started off. Like,
oh, you ain't like the hip,
like, bro.
That shit fire to me.
That song is one thing, but I'm talking about like some of the other stuff that was covered out. I'm not necessarily crazy about the flow patterns then, but it's not the worst era. It's not the worst I can think of.
I love Run DMC. I love all.
I'm trying to narrow it down.
I don't.
What's the message?
DMC them started like 80, 87, I think, or 86. I'm not counting that. I'm talking about like the 70s.
Yeah, like
78.
What's Grandmaster Flash? The message.
83.
Like that shit. That shit's
cool.
Fire, bro.
Bro, I don't miss all of that.
So you ain't rock with LL?
I'm not an LL fan.
Early LL, I like. That was different.
I'm not an LL.
Run DMC and LL took all of that.
Bro. That was about 86 and stuff.
All them niggas had that exact same flow.
Bro, that was, I can sit there and tell you, if we go back to I Need Love, it wasn't no.
No, but then go to Bad. No. That's I Need Love. Go to Bad. Go to I Need a Beat.
Even Bad. Go to Bad. Like that joint was
like all of it was Casio beats.
It wasn't the beats that I wasn't listening for
the flow was like
nah, bro. Like,
and he was doing that in the video. Matter of fact,
that's true though, bro.
That nigga was inside a warehouse.
You can tell me what you want. I watched LL, bro. The LL was killing it back then. It's totally different than Curtis flow. That's why they had problems. I wasn't.
They was using the same flow.
Nah, it wasn't the same flow, bro.
At times it was, bro. And I wasn't a big fan of L myself.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all wasn't fans. I was.
I'm an LL fan.
Hey, why didn't you drop that last album, bro?
I ain't really listened to the last album.
He's supposed to keep that. No, he's supposed to keep that, bro. Hey, Killer Mike done inspired too many motherfuckers. Some of y'all just need to let it go.
But I'm sure it sounded like he liked it. And that shit just not for
that shit was buzz. I had an old head at the job tell me the other day talking about, and he's still dropping hit records now. I'm like,
but that's for
that's not true though.
It's for their age. Like,
but it's not true though. He didn't drop a hit record.
Man, nah,
it wasn't no hit.
It wasn't a hit. If the niggas like it,
it was straight.
And to be fair, Killer Mike and LL is like almost like 15 years to 20-year gap.
No, I was just saying that he inspired the old heads because you know what I mean. Him to get to have so much success off of the album.
I said Run DMC actually started in late '82, early '83. They changed the flow, and L and Rakim came out and changed the whole dialect and flows of hip hop. That's what I'm saying. LL came out like when he.
LL didn't come out with that Run DMC flow.
No,
I Need a Beat was not the Run DMC flow,
bro.
Talk to me.
Bro,
like we gonna pull up the record after this.
Yeah, we can pull up.
I've listened to multiple LLG.
I wasn't talking about Run DMC. I'm talking about them guys. I can't even
name the guys. What's going on?
Like I'm talking about like the
Tricky is LL Cool J, bro.
I'm talking about the niggas with Grandmaster Flash and them early guys. Not
niggas said
Run DMC. Run DMC was a whole different split than what the early hip hop
Bro, that's like 2 years difference,
bro. But they sound the message different.
And to me, the message is better rapping than any Run DMC.
But I ain't like that stuff. I like
it's the same
So how you feel about like Slick Rick?
Slick Rick was that guy. That was about 8. Slick Rick was killing it, bro. You trying to put all these people in the early areas.
No, all of these is like literally the same era. This is like between maybe 83 to 88. Because the flows changed closer to like 88, 89. If you listen to NWA, they still came out inside a lot of that shit early on too. Like Eazy-E is doing like that early Run DMC shit.
If you go back to the earliest jump, it was not that. The earliest jump started coming out where they was sitting there with, like we
gonna pull a receipt. Like I listen to a lot of that
Sugar Hill Gang. If you're going back to Sugar Hill Gang, go listen to their other songs and see how many other hits they had. But I'm talking about the shit that sounded like Sugar Hill Gang them and Ford, and then it changed. It switched up. When you had like Run DMC was a big switch. That's why you can't put them in the same category as Sugar Hill Gang.
Okay.
Oh no, I get that, but
that's what I'm saying.
You've made two separate points because you was talking about also that flow that Run DMC and LL Cool J.
I didn't say
and all that mid-80s.
I said
you went from late 80s and everything back to now like it's 82.
Bro, I didn't say late 80s. I said 79 and like to about 83. That's what I said specifically. We can rewind it back and see it on here. I said about 79 to 83, and then you had this split when it came out to like Run DMC and them. But before that, I was not crazy about that jump.
So the hip, the hop, the
I'm Curtis Blow when I'm ready to go.
That's like, the Run DMC
flow. No, it ain't.
Okay.
It's not the same flow.
It is.
It's not.
Y'all niggas funny.
It's not.
Listen, we'll just pull up some clips.
Yeah, we will. We surely will, because it's not the same flow, bro. Matter of fact, Rakim and LL is not the Curtis Blow era. Thank you, Ron DeWine, because this man knows so much. I'm Curtis Blow when I'm ready to go. Like that the Chico Bean flow is what I'm like, how Chico Bean him be playing, bro. Like that's how they be sounding, bro. Like
again, Ron DeWine, help make please correct me. I'm
he already did, man.
Okay, got you. But what I'm talking about is not late LL, because LL during like the reign of like when he introduced the GOAT to the lexicon. It was what he did from like the beginning of Def Jam, which was like 84, 85, all the way through like 92, 93. I'm talking about like the start of it.
Unc was there. He said, no, it was not. L lyrics was different. His flow was different. You had to be back then to hear the difference. He said LL Cool J, bro.
Then
L lyrics was different. His flow was different. You had to be back then to hear the difference with the flow. Run DMC came back and forth. Our flow was triple.
So he's saying LL and Run DMC's flow is different.
I guess like Run DMC was a little bit before them. They might have been a bridge. But still, even Run DMC was different. Run DMC is different than Sugar Hill Gang, bro. Run DMC is different than Curtis Blow.
So you're talking like the Melly Mel era, basically.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about that stuff. That's all I'm saying. Like that the real, like I respect what they did, but I did not like that. They was so basic. Like even when I listened to the song,
Radio was 1985. Let me see if he came out before that.
I'm not crazy about that time period.
All right, so I love for y'all to tell Radio and Run DMC is there's a big difference in
bro. I'm saying Run DMC and LL was out about the same time. I'm talking about the era before them.
Okay, so maybe we're making different points.
Yeah, because you ain't listening to what I said. I've been saying the same thing the whole time. Okay. Run DMC was like a split. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about them guys that came before them. With the you want to put Curtis Blow era?
No, I guess maybe what keeps throwing it off is like
we're saying Curtis Blow's era. That's when you
what's the word? When you mimic them, you use the Run DMC LL flow. But you're probably meaning to use something else.
The flow I use was
that's different than the hip.
They not
the hip. Those are different flows.
I'm across the sea. It's not the same thing,
just
bro.
So know,
if you go back and you listen to them, it's still different. That's all I'm saying. If you go back and listen, Run had a distinct voice. Run was specific for a reason. His voice was specific, and he wasn't using the same flow as Curtis Blow. Matter of fact, I think they might have been beefing. Like they wasn't using the same flow.
They weren't beefing over flows and jacking.
We'll go back and listen to it, bro.
They wasn't beefing because of that.
Hey, we can go back and listen to it. Okay. I don't remember I don't even remember if they was beefing. I'm thinking it was them that was beefing. I can't remember if it was them or if it was somebody else I'm thinking about. But either way, Curtis Blow was not the same as Run DMC. It's totally different.
Like early hip hop. I guess that's where I'll leave it at. Like that era, that's some of like the funnest party-ish music. Like it's bass heavy. It's just fun. I like the flow patterns. I know it's fun now to pick on it, but like I remember doing the whole like my dad used to have like all the CDs and shit like that. So I remember going through, and he almost kind of had it chronological. and just listening to the different CDs. This is where like you could listen to a KRS-One, Criminal Minded, and you could say like, and I think maybe that's like 88, 87, and you could see the flow starting to change. But then you can go back to like a radio with LL, and you'll hear like a different version of flow pattern. But then you go to Public Enemy, and like let's say a Terminator X, and you can hear the evolution of the production and flows and shit like that.
Yeah, but I think that like your tie to the music is based on a lived experience as well. So like it sounded like you saying you almost like there was a time when you was going through your dad's crates, and that's a time period where you were consuming that music, and it was something.
Oh, you asked him like why I like it?
No, I didn't ask the question. I'm saying that we kind of there's a reason why we like or dislike.
I you know
what I mean, a specific time period, and it's usually tied to some lived experience with that music.
Yeah.
And that's all I was just saying.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, no, I'm not dissing the old school. It's the oldest school. That's the ones I'm saying I don't like. So if we want to go there, but not just like Run DMC.
I like Flash. I'm not big on like the hip. Well, it's such a classic though. But I got you. You just you don't rock with that like the 79 through 82.
I'm not that crazy about it. I respect what they did. I value what they did because they changed the game and they made hip hop what it is. So it's like I would never discredit them. Like it's like respect to the elders, but that was not my favorite time period at all by any means. Like bro,
you can say the old heads is buns if you want to, bro. You can still say that they were you know what I mean, the building blocks, the fact they laid the foundation for everything that we have now. And it's okay that you don't fuck with it. Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Here's something good. Ron DeWan said the flow changed in 83. Putting the Slick Rick / LL era with Sugar Hill Gang is like putting Jeezy with Goody Mob.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I don't think I was never making that argument at all. That Sugar Hill Gang and Slick Rick and LL had similar, or Run DMC have similar flow patterns at all.
I said, I'll be honest with you, and that's when I was young. I don't like that era of Melly Mel to me, but I respect the hell out of them. But the message will always be one of the greatest hip hop.
I like the message. I haven't heard a lot of Melly Mel to speak further about it, but yeah, Melly, I like the message and even like the imagery of the video and shit like that.
Yeah, if they ain't started the way they did, it wouldn't have went there. They was using the loops and they took it to where it was, and they had the creative mind to actually do that. But nah. If I had to really give it to the worst though, who's worse than them? Like,
you think that was the worst?
Huh?
Oh, you were saying that was the worst?
You just like who's worse than them?
Yeah, who's worse than them? Who I really dislike? Because I actually like them. I just wasn't crazy about their music. But where I dislike music probably for a minute, I would give that maybe around. I don't want to say 04. We got to get 04 through 09 was one thing. Damn, I hate to say it, but it kind of fall within the mixtape era sometimes. I just can't pinpoint those years.
Okay.
I would definitely say like the evolution of Young Thug them coming out. As it started, like Migos was okay at first, and then that kind of died down. Like it's certain stuff. It just started getting the mumble rap era definitely was probably
that's
I can't pinpoint where it started.
That right in there. Like after I came home and was hearing like the mumble rap, I was like, yeah, this is just the worst shit ever.
Ron DeWan said D4L Soldier Boy era was trash.
But it was fun though. It was trash, but it was fun. Like that was back in the day when you would go to the party and niggas would dance.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, niggas was looking at each other with their arms crossed. So like, you know what I mean? There was a fun time in there, but it was buns though.
It got out of hand too. It started becoming too many dances.
Yeah, it did. It did.
I was like,
it was crazy though.
It did. No facts.
Crank that Spider-Man.
Man, they had
all the superheroes.
I enjoyed all that.
Superheroes.
My last favorite dance era was the Dougie, for sure. That was my shit.
Yeah, Dougie was tough.
Crank that Batman.
Yeah, we had some good ones too, but it was like, but at the same time, it was like,
even though we was dancing, that music was trash.
Yeah, it was trash.
I like Dougie. Like all that Texas shit that was coming out during that time. That Texas New Louisiana wasn't great on lyrics, but I like. I was when Beat King became big too.
I was laughing because I seen one of them dances pop up on my timeline earlier. It was like it was a clip from 106 talking about Chris Brown doing the Aunt Jackie. Yeah. Bro, while I looked at that, I'm like, this joke looks stupid as a mug now. Like, I forgot about the dance, but I'm like, this dance look dumb as a mug.
Hey, I got a meme that goes right into what y'all talk about. It was go into my memes real quick. It ain't gonna take long. It's a quick one of these kids dancing. Back in what it say in 2006, 2009.
Oh yeah, right here.
Your boy right there. Buddy in the Black is not giving up, bro.
He wasn't even doing it right.
Yeah, he doing something else.
All right, you can stop it now, bro, because we ain't supposed to have the music playing.
Bro, that just still be funny.
Yeah, no, it's crazy to think that we was turned like that, bro.
Yeah, bro.
No, it was a fun time.
I mean, it was definitely a fun time.
Like the crunk era also was the mosh pit rap era as well.
Yeah, shit. You
I
remember what
love
Crime
that
Mob?
I love that era.
Bro, niggas was getting their ass. Well, bro, you remember when we was at the when Jeezy came here?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, niggas was it. Which that was Trap or Die, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was 04.
Yeah, Trap or Die came out. We went to the Summer Smash, whatever the fuck.
Okay.
And he was out, bro. Niggas was in there getting their ass whipped, bro. It was crazy, bro. He was in there getting whooped. I had bought some white forces. Bitches was black, all blacks when we walked out of there.
Bro, they had to change that whole era up because, like, Scrappy and all that. You remember Scrappy coming to the shop?
Yeah.
Dang,
that's
bro.
head busters and all. Yeah.
Then that Crime Mob came on.
Just to interject real quick, y'all keep going. Y'all want to do a quick call in? It looks like we still under an hour right now. If y'all want to give some quick commentary, let us know what y'all best and worst is. We'll give you about a good 3 minutes to come and get some shit off real quick. We'll throw the call in. Riz, call in, bro. We ain't seen you in a little second. Ron Dwan, listen, you was in the back end for a while on what was that, Wednesday?
You still saying that shit?
The backstage. It's the backstage, bro.
We got you in the back end.
Yeah,
it's
the backstage for a while on Wednesday. Once I start bringing people up, you was going. But pop in real quick. Talk to us, LTO. Talk to us, Unc. I know you're gonna call in. Let us know. Let us know the best and worst.
Oh yeah, she said you want to talk about a rough mosh pit. Go to a Tech Nine show.
Oh yeah.
That's my girl favorite rap artist. I'm like, and now
your girl weird.
Like,
then,
yeah, bro. That's what I said. I was like, what is this? Like, her and her kids be listening. This one's weird.
Yeah, his listeners is kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a quiet taste for people, you know.
And he don't rap fast. He's a fast rapper, right?
Yeah.
It's different.
Sometimes he rap fast.
Yeah, it's
when he raps
different.
slow, to me, it still sounds like he rap fast. Like it's his own real like staccato like voice little thingy.
I respect him though.
It sounded like if E40 could rap good, probably, or he had like a staccato flow. If E40 had a staccato flow and sometimes rap fast,
I heard him.
That's what I would say.
He's doing like
voice that sound like school.
Him and Jordan Lucas did something maybe, or like Eminem or some shit. It's that fast rap shit. My brother likes that. I think Tech Nine's one of his guys.
Yeah.
Oh, Tone, you put it in there. Good shit.
Oh yeah. Where we at?
Did everybody run down their best and worst?
So
like she said, it's like Insane Clown Posse, 3 6 Mafia, and Blink 182 had a baby. And like talk about Tech Nine.
I can see that.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. I only listen to one of those guys that she.
You never heard of Blink 182?
No, I said I only listened to one of those guys she named. Yeah. I ain't never really liked white people music like that. No offense.
She said it's harsh. Unc in here. What's up, Unc?
Unc, talk to us.
What's good with y'all?
What's happening?
We gotta start making you turn that camera on. We need that camera on.
Hey, Black Fried. hey, Black Fried. TBI didn't.
He did.
He fried.
Nah, it's a call. You good? You good?
What up,
Yo, yeah. I was just saying, back then you had to be there to kind of hear it because the lyrics were kind of different and the flows was kind of different. Rakim definitely changed the whole game. He's the first true master MC when it came. He was the first. He was the gear turner.
Let me ask you this: Was Rakim before KRS-One?
Yes, Rakim was 2 years before KRS-One.
Okay, they was close, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
KRS-One came out in I think it was 88. Matter of fact, it was 87. KRS-One came out. Rakim came out.
Yeah. I'm about to say Criminal Minds was like 87.
Everything always be back then. Music came out around September to November. Like their first single would hit, and they wouldn't kind of pop to the beginning of the next year. That's why you keep seeing me if I'm right, and I'm saying late this year, early that year. Okay. So Rakim changed the game, but KRS-One changed the whole entire game. I'm gonna tell you something.
Real old heads, they
held
say that KRS won the GOAT. That's what the real old heads say.
5 summers. He held it down for 5 summers. And also, he was basically one of the hip hop had kind of changed, but New Jersey held down the East Coast from about 88, really be honest with you, to almost when Snoop and Dre them came out. You had some MCs that were coming there, even though the majority.
Wouldn't you say that was like the Rakim era though? During that time, 88.
80.
I mean, not 88. I'm talking about KRS-One. That was when he went on his run.
Yeah,
I know New Jersey. That'd have been like Queen Latifah. That'd have been Naughty by Nature. Who else would have been New Jersey during that time?
It would have been you had anybody that basically was in their camp that came with them. That it was, you know what I'm saying, because they had the flavor unit. So anybody that was in the flavor unit, it was a lot of them. Lakim Shabazz, you had Apache, you had it was so many of them that came out.
When was the Wu-Tang and Tribe era? That'd have been like 91 through 93, 94s.
Tribe them came out in around 99 because it was them and De La Soul.
You mean 89?
89, around 89. Yeah. It was them. Tribe was out with it was them and De La Soul. Back then it was just so it was even though you had different camps, they all had camps, but some of them would branch off and build other things, like you had Native Tongue.
Right. That's the De La in them. Yeah.
I want to make sure you answer the second half of the question too. What's the worst era?
Mumble rap.
Okay. Got the same answer.
Mumble rap was always the worst. It was mumble rap, but then it was a short period there between the years of about 98 and in the millennium when it got real country.
Oh no, we like country. Yeah,
he talking about.
I was talking about when Pharrell came out.
This was.
We hate Nerds production.
He talking about Nelly and
you hate Nerds production. Let you say that. I like.
No, I fuck with Pharrell.
What Pharrell songs you like that's not on the radio? You ain't never listened to Seeing Sounds.
No, I can't. You know, I'm not a nigga that.
NERD fan.
Yeah, I'm not a nigga that you can just name the album and I can just go back and
outside of grinding, what and fronting? What Pharrell songs you really like?
I got some Pharrell, some Pharrell productions on my playlist, man.
I'm actually
go listen to that Jay-Z album he produced. Trash. No. Hey, we gonna bring you back.
Give It To Me was trash.
Give
It To Me.
No,
that was cold.
But that's why I said like you heard the song that sounded like it was on the radio. It was like, oh, that was fire. And then you kept and I was like, damn, let me listen to this whole album. And it was Casio keyboard.
I see what he's saying. I see what he's saying now.
We're gonna take you back for Riz done popped up. I think we might have someone else in the back too. But we'll see. But all right,
Pig. What's up, y'all boys?
What up, Riz?
Man, chilling. Hey, hold on, bro. I was finna get on your behind about that Neptune's production take, but cleaned it up a little bit because some of them B-sides be crazy.
Right.
But, yeah.
I know y'all can't like Pharrell in there. Yeah, like that whole little thing. I ain't a fan of it, but listen, that's my personal worst. But talk to us, Riz.
Man, I was thinking about it when you asked like what was the worst era, and I wanted to say like that late 70s, early 80s because it was so new. It just hadn't found this little sweet spot yet. But I can't lie, man. It might have to be the mumble rap era because it's way more duds than jewels. The jewels is jeweling, but the duds.
So let me ask you this: when you say the mumble rap era, because to me sometimes that gets conflated with the mixtape era. If I'm not mistaken, did it not happen during the exact same time?
I would say the reason why that gets confusing because it happens so close to the mixtape era. I would say the real mumble rap era is that second wave of mumble rappers.
So, so you're talking about like 2016,
18.
It was after because we had Cole and all of them on the freshman cover. What was it? Was it like the next
But-
year or the year after that?
Oh no!
Nah,
So
the next
he's
year
talking about
was
like when Uzi and them came out.
Lil
That's
Pump,
what
like
he-
when-
yeah,
all of them.
Yeah.
But the
like when
original,
Uzi
but the
and-
Era is
original,
trash. You see, the artist's not even around no more. Like a lot of them artists. Is
nah,
done.
Uzi still, he's
And
still
that-
out
and that
here
was gonna be
selling
my
a bunch
next
of
I'm saying
records.
a lot
the
of them.
the cream of the crop of that era, they all died. So it's like that's
Of which
gotta be
era?
the worst one.
Which
Tom Mama rap.
all right, hold on.
Yeah,
Let's,
Juice WRLD.
so
died,
this was the first point I was trying to make. The original mumble rap era would have been like Rich Homie and them, and that happened.
Yeah,
that was
I'm
like
not talking
12
about
to
them.
13.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like
Not
Rich
that,
Homie.
yeah. That wouldn't
I'm
have
not
been.
talking
Yeah,
about
it's the
them.
second one. I agree
Yeah,
with 100. percent
it's-
It's the second one. It's the second one.
But going to what you just said, Riz, I would say that a lot of them surprisingly stuck though, right? Like Kodak's still here. You still have Lil
Yeah,
Uzi.
yeah.
He's still big. You still have Lil Yachty.
Yachty, yeah.
You know what's the
Like,
funny thing though?
a lot of them
You know what's
niggas
the funny
actually
thing?
stuck,
You
unfortunately.
know, I'm gonna add on to what you just said too.
Okay.
That's kind of the irony of that era, and why I
Mm.
wanted to say the late 70s, early 80s, because that mumble rap cover, the 2016 XXL, it might be one of the strongest covers. It might
Like
be
when you're talking about
top 30.
longevity for sure.
But you know the thing
Yeah.
about that too is that might be the that's probably like an air because you don't see we don't be fucking with none of that shit. You don't get in no car with nobody you know and they be playing that shit. That,
Playing what?
Yeah.
the no fucking not rich but what's
Yeah.
your boy with the put the diamond in his foot? We was just talking about it.
Oh, Uzi.
Uzi, you
No,
ain't you don't
not
get
Uzi,
nobody.
but-
Nobody's playing. That
I
might
like
be the
Uzi.
white folk.
Nah, but Kodak, he got
no,
records.
Kodak. Yeah. I ain't saying. I'm not saying.
Like I said,
Kodak is probably one of the guys.
I got a son, so like they play some of that Yachty.
I like that Yachty. Like
Yeah,
that new
Yachty
stuff he
is
dropped.
No, I've never attempted to listen to him. He just it's
Yeah,
the
I'm not gonna lie
shit.
though. When he
I'ma
came
set
out,
out.
I hated him. I
Yeah,
hated
when he,
him.
that.
definitely when he
His
first
initial-
came out. For
Yeah,
sure.
I can't get into him.
Nah.
It took me a while to come around to Thug, to be honest.
No,
And I
me
still don't
too.
like most of his records. I also think that he was an industry player. He the only nigga I know that dropped like 7 thuds and was able to keep rebranding it as a mixtape. But that's just my hate.
But that's another reason why I thought about them, because there's so many duds.
Mm.
Like not even with Thug in them, but like everybody that's inspired by Thug, it's so many duds in that second wave of that era.
That's a fact.
It's like I almost gotta call it them, you know.
Nah,
That's a
I
good
dig
take.
it.
I just knew I was gonna disagree with Riz's take. He had said something on Facebook recently I disagreed with.
Real don't be
What
liking
was
niggas on Facebook.
I can't even remember, bro. I can't remember.
What?
So when you got on, I was like, damn, I remember Riz. I felt we was talking about a bad take.
Was it my 50 take?
I think it was your 50 take. What was
I could
what is,
If
Go
I
ahead, go
explained that take, you would probably agree with me. Like if I just really like laid it out, because I just say stuff, in a vacuum,
and just leave it
people
there?
like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Riz, we appreciate you calling
Appreciate
in,
it,
brother. Yeah, make sure you keep
What's up?
tapping in with us. That's one of the OG homies. Our
For
first
sure.
music reaction on the channel. Riz was he was a part of it. Shout out to the homie.
Big facts.
We finally got him on here. Ron Dwan, talk to us, brother.
You gotta
We can't
unmute
hear
your
you.
mic.
You muted. See if you can unmute it for him.
I tried.
Oh yeah. He got to do his own. Yeah.
I'm ready to find
You
out.
just got to hit it on the whatchamacallit. LTO, she going crazy. Ain't
Oh, yeah,
she?
she said Yachty is a writer.
Is a writer. Okay.
Yeah.
He write for women.
It'd be crazy as a man writing stuff about Long Johnsons and shit for women raps. It's crazy.
Bro,
That's crazy. As a man to be able to put yourself in that lane of thinking is fucking crazy.
Biggie doing the same thing.
Hey, I'm not. It's crazy still.
But I also don't know. Like, do they ever talk about Long John?
Jerry, you remember I played the meme I played on the video I played on the show where the white dude was up there talking about writing for a specific. It was either a Cardi song and he was talking about 8 inches thick. Something she had said. One of those women had that. And he had wrote it on the song.
I don't
That's
know a lot of-
crazy.
That's crazy.
No, I think that is
That
crazy.
is crazy.
I guess what I'm saying, like Biggie and Yachty, I don't know them to like go that route with it. Outside of like the basic flip to the sexualization that men already do to women.
I think Ron.
I'm not saying that they did.
I think Ron is on. We can hear you, Ron. You there?
Yo, y'all can hear me?
Yo, whatever.
Give me 1 second, guys. My bad. I was trying to get this together.
Oh,
Okay.
you good?
What'd you say?
But yeah, no, I wasn't saying that Biggie.
You said that you write about which?
No. He said he said that she said that Yachty is a writer.
Yeah.
And okay, then he goddamn trying to make me explain some.
Oh
shit.
no, I was just getting. You missed the joke. I was doing the thing that you said I'd be doing.
Oh, okay.
When I reframed
it.
Yeah,
so what you saying
is that you writing about Long Johnsons, but
I don't be writing about shit.
That might not have been what you were saying.
No, but yeah, no. Y'all wanna?
You was trying to imagine about writing about Long. I don't know.
Nigga,
all right, Ron Dwan, you here? What's happening, brother?
What's happening, gentlemen, man? Interesting wave, man. Like it's first of all, the early 80s, I was a baby, so I ain't that old, but I'm old enough to realize that there was a split. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just to clear up what you was talking about, Q. LL, Slick Rick, all of that was vastly different from what came before with the rhyme structure, with the flows. Like that 78 to 81, 82, that's like the kindergarten rap. You know what I'm saying? So that was a lot different before Rakim got in the game. But
but Rakim is a different grouping to me than what you just said, though.
Rakim,
like the LL, Slick Rick, and all of them. That's like mid 80s. That's what you're talking about.
Nah. I mean, Rakim kind of goes with LL, Slick Rick, or maybe even a little bit after. That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. But even with LL, that's a lot different. LL Run DMC is a lot different from Sugar Hill Gang and Melly Mel and all that.
I agree.
It's kind of not the same flows. It's a different kind of music altogether.
I agree.
The production value changed at that point and everything.
I kind of disagree right there,
but
because all of that was still like it was like keyboard.
It was simple rap. With our ear listening right now, but if you want to listen to like the Christmas rap versus Run DMC stuff, that's like the production that's totally different by that time. But as far as for me, like the worst eras of rap, I think we've had several bad eras. I get what you're saying about the late 90s transition. That was rough unless you like myself. I listen to a lot of East Coast mixtape music, so that was like the best time. DJ Clue.
Yeah, you talking about like Dipset.
Not even just the Dipset. That's some of the commercial stuff, but a lot of like y'all was talking about Fab. I understand you if you're a Southern person and not in the mixtape Fab, but Desert Storm Fab something totally different.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That mixtape era with all the Clues, the Ron G's, the K Slays, the you know what I'm saying? Like the late 90s wasn't about commercial rap as far as the East Coast went. Down South was doing a little bit more with commercial rap with the beginners of Cash Money.
But that was the heart of the crunk era too.
Suave House, Swisher House, you know what I'm saying? Rap a lot, all of that was on a bigger scale as far as commercially for the Southern people, but East Coast was listening to Mobb Deep on mixtapes, you know what I'm saying? Like listening to Locks mixtapes, seeing that who had that first lot on that Clue tape. You know what I mean? So that was
right.
That was a different transition. But for me, that Snap era, that whole
that
was terrible.
That's
in my white tee. Yeah.
That's
the worst. You seeing the whole grown men Laffy Taffy in and shit. Look,
hey, listen, that was college for me right there. So it was a time, boy.
I mean, it was fun. You know what I'm saying? Like I was there.
It was definitely fun.
Everybody participate how they participate in it though.
The Tall T era.
Yeah.
Bro, I thought it was around the bottom.
Come on, bro. The Jabot era, bro.
We had
a time, bro.
2000 party.
Jabot era.
We had a 2000s party. I was like, I never want to go back. I was like, I thought I missed this.
You said what?
I was saying the Jabot era was before that. Jabot era was
it was a
Hot Boy era, like 99, 2000. You know what I mean?
No, that's
98,
right.
99, 2000.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Different color straps and all of that. So it's just we just gotta have perspective, man.
We probably bled all the way to like 20.
I don't think we can mash in eras like with 7-8 year stretches. Even sometimes the 2 or 3 don't do enough because it shifts, but it also shifts different in each region. You know what I'm saying? So a shift might take place in a different region at a different time. You know what I'm saying? So it's about the perspective of where we listening from.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, once you start saying like 7 years, you'd be like, damn, truthfully,
that's the whole different kind of music at 7.
Yeah, it's like 3 different eras would have came. Like if you just look at the South over a span of like
Let's think about
2000 to 2007.
Do you think that that it's rapidly changing as much now, or has it been rapidly changing as it was as during these time periods we talking about? Because if you can't group 5 years together, it's like
I think now
it's slowed down. It's like
it's slow. Yeah, I think overall it's slowed down.
Yes.
Yeah, it kind of got homogenized to everybody doing the same thing. You know what I mean? You're not really seeing a whole lot of difference in sounds or regions or just, uniqueness. Everybody's kind of running the same play, which, it works for the most part. You'll hear a little bit of what we got going on in California with their, bass sound is kind of, their own thing. But even LA music don't necessarily sound that different than something that's made out of Miami at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. That is wild that it's changed so much, so because it's not that different.
Hey, it was crazy when you see what was Buddy came out of New York sound like he was from the South. Designer with the Panda song. That was crazy, bro.
Like the South. Yeah.
That was crazy.
New York lost their way. New York don't even have a sound right now.
That's rough.
He was autistic though, wasn't he?
And you remember when we went to South by Southwest, we seen Designer out there. That nigga was, bro. I was embarrassed for him. Like literally, like I'm the type of nigga. I start feeling embarrassed for people. And then just be like, damn, I hate that you even doing
bro,
this.
Can I tell the story really quickly? So we back once upon a time, a couple of us guys on the podcast used to be rappers. And during our if you've ever been a rapper, you understand that there is a yearly pilgrimage that all underground niggas try to have to make, which is the South by Southwest Festival.
Which is the same place that the baby had the diaper on and that everybody kind of knows about that. I'm just saying that because everybody can. That was at South by Southwest.
That'd be an example of South by Southwest. But what it is in general, it's in Austin, Texas. It's a music / tech conference that happens once a year. And during the blog era and a little bit after, this was a space where a lot of industry sent their artists as a promo, B to kind of like break them, see if their shit kind of was going to kind of be a thing. But then you also had independent artists from all over the country coming to the same spot. Inside Austin, Texas, what they have is 9th Street. With 9th Street is probably, from what I don't even think we walked the whole thing, but it's at least a 2 mile to a mile and a half stretch of bar venue, to where this street is maybe like 70 to 80 bar / venues.
Big fast.
And as you're walking in it, pretty much everything was free. You just walk in, walk out. And like, just depending on where you decided to walk in at, depending on the time, there's always somebody performing. And our story was like, we was walking the strip. And of course, when we're enamored, like this is our first time seeing independent artists kind of do promo the way they was doing. Like they had like teams, niggas had big posters on their back with the music going. It was like its own like whole experience. So we just walking dumbfounded as like North Carolinians, just like, oh shit. And then the sky opened up and it's rain and it started pouring down.
Oh, we was
and we like, oh shit, we got to find somewhere to go. So in doing that, we just ran into the first bar.
That's
that we
exactly
seen.
How that happened.
And so like we just randomly ran into that bar. And running in that bar, we just sitting there. And I remember looking over and I'm like, it's a nigga walking up the stairs with a panda head on. I didn't know what the hell that shit meant. And like we was just like,
it wasn't even on the radio at that point.
I think it was kind of just breaking a little bit.
Okay. I don't think I had heard it before then.
Yeah. I think he had the little thing with Kanye during that time, but the song in itself, because I guess like Panda was paired with a Kanye song when it first came out.
Okay.
And then he was able to kind of like release it by himself.
Kanye took it and remixed it and made his own version of
and that was a lot of people's first introduction to it.
Gotcha.
But so nonetheless, we're just sitting there. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe like the Migos also performed in that same stage, like randomly.
I think so.
But we were just chilling. It's raining outside. We just, again, free entry. We just sitting there. And next thing you know, you see this nigga Designer hop on the stage.
And bro,
he's like going crazy.
The craziest thing was that
and the
dab was dabbing hard than the motherfucker. It's like eyes big as shit. He was on drugs, bro. It was like no way that there was no drugs involved in this whole thing that we were watching. And I was just like, I'm sitting here like, bro, this nigga is tripping. And then he wouldn't get off. Like he kept doing the shit. He would act like he was going to, and then it drop again, and he got them turned the fuck up
like
again.
The James Brown shit. Yeah,
and it's like, bro, you should be leaving the building right now, bro. This is terrible.
And that was the end of New York rap right there.
You said you said that.
No, it was. Rap? It definitely that was the last.
Like they've been trying to find their identity ever since. Like they still ever since then. They've been stuck on London's drill sound. Like,
he fucked them up. I do want to shout the homie Dinero Ferrar. You know, he just dropped his this latest project.
Okay,
he just dropped his latest project. That was the first time I seen Dinero live. And when I tell you, my nigga Dinero Ferrar, if you don't know who Dinero Ferrar is,
bro, how to control the stage.
When I tell this nigga stage presence was so crazy. That nigga shit was so crazy. And you know, we had been performing at that time, and I had felt like I was, you know what I mean? I had my little shit together, but then when I seen this nigga, I was like, bro, this is like a finished product. Like this shit is
you learn that like it's a difference between like getting on stage and performing records and actually commanding a crowd.
Yes.
And doing like a real performance.
Yeah, you could tell this wasn't like a set that he just kind of put together. This was something that he, you know what I mean, he created this thing and that was
it's kind of a lost art now.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because there's no more A&Rs. Like that's part of the process of being an artist, having a stage presence and practicing your stage show. Like it's not just grabbing the mic and just standing up there in front of the crowd. Like I mean, it's
funny. Ron Dwan, I got one quick question for you. For again, we about to keep moving on the show. We might do like a call in a little bit later. Stay, you know what I mean. Stay around. We appreciate your opinions. Was there a time that you was a local rapper, and if so? What was your stage name?
Random fucking question. Go ahead, bro.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, Ron. Yes, Ron Dwan. Talk to us, brother.
It's Royal Life.
Royal Life?
Royal Life.
Royal Life. Yeah. All right.
It's up on all the streaming platforms and everything still, man. I'm a Renaissance man. I have a very varied and in-depth life. So yeah,
I feel like every guy from our era that participated kind of is exactly that. We all evolve into like Renaissance.
If you live this culture, you can't like not be involved in it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah, check that shit out. Royal Life, LIF #3 for the E. So you know what I'm saying, y'all.
Oh damn, you going 5% on us? Okay. What's going on here?
Family and foundation, brothers. You know
okay. Yeah. I dig it. All right, we'll check it out. Throw it in the chat so that people know it. And see.
That'll be hard.
Again, we appreciate you. We're gonna bring you to the back, but stick around and keep commenting. Rock with us, my brother.
All right.
That was fun.
All right. So what? We got these memes.
You ready to?
Yeah,
I kick ass today.
Bro, get out of here, bro. Y'all simple, bro. Like, y'all simple, bro.
Buzz.
Hey, now, wait.
Both of y'all out.
We ain't even fill Kenny in. You got a quick verse.
Oh, are you trying?
No, this is y'all two.
Kenny, you got some memes. We can rock, paper, scissors, but you got some memes.
He just want to beat your ass, bro.
Okay.
Just whoop his ass, Kenny.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Got him.
Yeah.
Got him out of here, yo bum ass.
Hey, but you lost though.
It's all right though.
Bro, stay in the loser's corner.
It's not what your mom thinks.
Let's get it.
All right. So who's after you, Tom?
Never mind.
Oh, who's after me? Shoot, how you know I wanted to go first?
Oh, I don't know.
What's the order then?
Q first, I'm next, and then Rail dead last.
Oh, I see how. Okay, I'm always a nigga with all the haters for whatever reason, y'all. It just happens. It's all right, bro. I ain't even mad at it.
No, I just didn't want to go. I didn't want to go first today.
I'm mad at it. My bad, bro. I forgot to tell you about the sitting in the memes, bro.
Okay,
that's my bad. I fucked that up.
It's all good.
Okay.
Let me go back.
All right, we're gonna start. This was really fun to me. This reminded me of the era that I was kind of encompassed in, and at least inside our small little community here in Charlotte. So, could you go to Drewski top left?
What he get? Kenny, did you ever rap?
Nah.
Be a black man in America? Was it a crime to be a Negro spiritual? I expect that from y'all.
What you good, bro?
What's going on, King?
Now that part I missed though.
Okay. I'm super fragilistic, expialidocious. I'm smoking halitosis. You drinking halitosis.
Yo, you need to listen. The game is twisted. Like
Lyrical Bible. Not only am I the next Michael, I am the disciple.
Stupid.
Technical glitches, introspective decisions. I'm thinking architectural. I'm being ambidextrous.
Damn.
Yeah. Triple
It's fucked up because you definitely can see yourself all in there.
But I missed that time period.
It was a time.
That part of it.
Thank you guys in the chat. Yes, that is telekinesis. It's very powerful to learn. What's today's mathematics?
That's crazy, brother.
peace, love, freedom, happiness.
Wisdom. Don't forget that. Sit down. I'm gonna teach you the book. Treat your body like a temple. Don't eat none of that poison. Take this book. Learn the readings. Peace, God.
Peace, God.
Peace, God. Yeah, listen, that resurgence, renaissance that happened that allowed us to experience 1992 again.
Appreciate it.
That was amazing. Charlotte, we had a space called the Underground. We had an area in Noda in which a lot of the eclectic artsy fartsies and the wokes, they all, and this is like early wokes, not like LGBTQ woke.
Oh yeah,
but like the artsy fartsies and the wokes, like Peace Gods, the 5%ers, the Nuwapians, like all these people that had like alternative POVs, the Pan Africans, I guess you would say. This is before like an FBA like was a like kind of like the idea of that was really a thing. Everybody used to congregate, and you would get a lot of these. You'll see like the shorties with the big ankh ring earrings. You see the big like beads and shit like that with the dudes. You see beanies everywhere. Bead,
Joe, too.
It'd be beanies everywhere. Like it was just.
Hell, I bought this during that time.
Yeah. Look at you. That's a relic. We call those relics. Sure. That's a relic from the time. Yeah. Like during that time, I used to wear my all my unks, I think, came from my dad, which is kind of like fire. I guess I need to pass this down to QJ. But yeah, because I guess like maybe like early in that era of hip hop that y'all hated, like that 79 through 82. I think my dad was outside just doing woke shit too. But yeah, nonetheless, saying all that to say, like, I think that was like a hilarious parody of a time I enjoyed. No commentary. All right. We can move on to I guess we can run two of them in a row. And this will throw us into a quick little J. Cole conversation. Could you go to Grits and whatchamacallit, dude in the middle right there?
Right here.
Yeah, you can go to him.
So I feel like the only way you can engage in this debate is to know both of these artists' discographies and to be fans of both. Whether you like one more than the other, that ain't here or there. But to not know their discographies and then judge it like that, you should just shut the fuck up. Now, I know it's asking a lot for y'all to have integrity when engaging in debates about hip-hop, especially online. So I feel like the fairest way to judge this is to judge them by their last 6 albums chronologically. And I say 6 because that would include Born Center. So starting off at the top, we have Born Center versus You Only Live Twice. Born Center was a great debut album by J. Cole, but You Only Live Twice is the better album. It's just more consistent. It has great production. It has great skits. Freddie is rapping his motherfucking ass off on there. And it has a lot more high highs. The lows ain't even really that low. There's a lot of low lows on Born Center. 2014 Forest Hills Drive versus Freddie.
You gotta get
clearly Forest Hills Drive. J. Cole might be J. Cole's best body of work throughout his career, even though it was early on. It was one of his more in-depth and introspective albums. It really made the fans feel like they knew exactly
how long is this nigga finna talk?
Doing with him. And the way he rolled that album out was perfect. It's one of his best albums. It's one of my favorite albums by him too. For Your Eyes Only versus Bandana. Now, I feel like For Your Eyes Only was a very slept-on J. Cole album. I enjoyed it a lot. I ran it for the better part of a year after I heard it. But Bandana is the better album. It is one of Freddie's top 3 albums. A lot of times that goes Pinata, Alfredo, Bandana. Okay. Bandana is the better album here. KOD versus Alfredo puts us at 3-1 Freddie because KOD I just didn't like. It didn't get really. I mean, he had a couple of songs on there that was cool, I understood what his messaging was, but this is in the midst of him being in that beef with Lil Pump, and he just wanted to talk about the kids on drugs and kind of criticize the youth. And I think he got away from more of his lyrical ability on there. Meanwhile, Alfredo may be Freddie Gibbs' best album. Completely produced by The Alchemist, Grammy nominated, great album. We got 3-1 Freddie. The off-season versus So separately.
Off-season.
The off-season is way better than this. And I'm not going to say way better, but the off-season clears it for me. So separate, he was doing a lot of experimentation. This one, he was like hanging out with a lot of comics and shit, so he had a lot of weird skits in there. And it wasn't really consistent with the skits that he's done in the past on his albums. He was doing a lot of like, experimental stuff production-wise that I didn't really like or care for. Meanwhile, the off-season is some of J. Cole's best rapping ever, some of his greatest songs.
Thanks.
J. Cole was really in his fucking duff. I mean, he started it out like with the joint with Cameron on there. He was smoking that shit. And then we get to Might Delete Later versus You Only Die Once, and You Only Die Once is the better album. So it's 5-2
Freddie. Not an album though.
It was
4-2 Freddie having a better discography out of 6. Might Delete Later was cool. There is an asterisk next to it because in the midst of the beast, he did delete his diss song in there, and that kind of devalues the whole album for me. Meanwhile, there is Life of Pi on there where he's rapping his motherfucking
ass off.
Trade the Truth and the Beat is a great song, but You Only Die Once is damn near a flawless album. I was a little skeptical when I first heard it.
This nigga been talking for 17 minutes.
Yeah, but I also think he did like a good breakdown. I'm a burden y'all with one more shout out. This is he comments on the show often. 1430, I want to say, right there in the middle. You click him, he had some commentary over the week.
Absolutely love the song In a Vacuum, right? Just flawless technical rapping. The Sandra Bullock bar was amazing. The whole second verse is everything, just a reminder of everything that I love about Cole and why I was a fan from the beginning. Acknowledging things like AI, like just a lot of like introspective stuff, talking about his mental health and creating, like all of that is stuff that I love about Cole. So let me go ahead and get that out of the way now. But it's the first verse, specifically a few bars in the first verse, that really had me going, absolutely love the song In a Vacuum, right?
Okay.
Just flawless technical rapping. Maybe the Sandra Bullock bar was amazing. The whole second verse is everything.
He already ran it. Maybe I thought that was a different clip. But nonetheless, Kenny, I'll ask you first.
Okay.
I got the discography. He had it 4-2. I'm close to there. I can see where it's 3-3. But are you a Freddie fan?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So where do you? So where do you line? Not who's your favorite? Who's the better rapper? And of course, maybe all right. Give me maybe a minute to give a backstory to why this is even relevant. J. Cole drops Clouds.
Yeah.
And there was a slew, and that's where the second thing came at. There was a slew of rappers and I guess podcasters that did have an issue with a bar in Clouds.
Right.
Freddie Gibbs was one of those people, in which he had previously already took shots at Cole in his previous album.
Yeah.
But this last run, he pretty much doubled down and saying something along the lines of like rappers that be apologizing on stage, talking about how they murder rappers, something.
Right.
Like laughing emojis about like just that general whole thing, which brought upon on the internet a Freddie discography versus Cole discography. So I'll toss it to you and I'll ask, who has the stronger discography?
Oh man. I honestly think it's closer than people think. And I'm a huge J. Cole fan. J. Cole is my favorite artist. He's been for quite some time. Been to Air Dreamville.
Oh, you going this year?
Yeah, I'm going this year too.
Oh damn! Hey, all right. Get I'm gonna say it.
So
that's fine.
At Dreamville. So I've been always a huge supporter of Cole, even the podcast and everything. But Freddie, his collection of albums and mixtapes, I honestly can put that against a lot of people.
A
lot of people like it's not really out of pocket.
And I'm gonna tell you this. You know what's not on there?
Yeah.
That Freddie Currency project.
That too.
That one, I think that's almost a what do you call it? That might be a classic collab album. But he has like I had to revisit. I kind of didn't even know Freddie dropped last year until everybody was doing their year-end wrap-ups. And everybody was putting him inside like their top 3 albums of the year.
Yeah, I had commented on here. Like I was like, y'all should listen to it. Bro.
Yeah, all right, cool. So when I went back and listened, I was like, this shit is hard. Yeah. How the fuck did this miss my whatchamacallit? And I got a music little group chat, and niggas actually had put it in there because I was like, damn, why you ain't tell me this? And they was like, no, we told you. You just was asleep. And I think almost unarguably, Freddie does have possibly 3 classics. If we're talking solo, Alfredo, Bandana, and Pinata. Yeah. And in which like it's really strong. I'm just like you, where Cole is for the longest has been my favorite rapper. And it's tough because I think Cole raps way better. Yeah. But Freddie has a really strong body of work.
Yeah. And I kind of think sometimes like the comparison is unfair just due to the fact that Cole is on a certain status. Like as far as the room that he got to work with on something, just kind of having like a commercial point of view on some of his albums compared to like Freddie Gibbs working with like Alchemist. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little pocket. He kind of get like an advantage on for like some of the hardcore hip hop fans. So like if I feel like if Cole were to rap like on an Alchemist beat or like a Harry Fry, I feel like he's capable of doing something like that. Like what Freddie Gibbs is doing. I don't think it's like that much difference in like in the skill set, but that's just me though.
Yeah. Now listen, if I'm hitting the road, Alfredo was always one of my first little listens. If I just want to play something all the way through, you go from that intro into is it Scotty Beam right after that?
Man, yes.
God, like it's just one that you could just let ride, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Glad to have you on here. This was something that I wanted to get Johnny's opinion on too. But because I know real like you're not necessarily like as versed on Freddie per se.
I mean, I miss a lot of music. You know what I mean? I miss a lot of music. That just ain't. You know what I mean?
Him out though, bro.
Yeah, no, I've listened to some Fred. He can rap his ass off for sure. I mean, that's not even debatable. Like he can rap his ass off.
And he'll put some bodies of work together.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think Tone was the one that introduced me to Freddie. It was in the video. I can't remember the name of the song, but in the video,
bandana, Jank. And he had a video on the cot with
in the field.
Oh yeah.
What he says Monday. What he was saying?
Monday. And the funny thing is that he has such a personality. Yeah. I did also hear a conversation where they said that Freddie might be the perfect opponent for J. Cole. It's a high risk, high reward scenario though.
Well, high risk, low reward.
No,
for Cole.
Yeah, for Cole. Yeah,
that's a low reward.
No, now I'll unpack it.
I know you probably.
So this is.
Go ahead.
This is the conversation that I kind of agree with it. So J. Cole is kind of coming off like the whole little thing in which like there's a lot of people that are just shooting at him, like from the Joey Badasses to whoever, to where niggas are starting to act like it's open season on Cole, where J. Cole, like, he's not going to battle the top 3, right? Like, or the top 2, just because of like just the whole scenarios and whatever. But in the lens of, and this is where it's high risk, high reward. Freddie Gibbs is highly celebrated in the hip hop community as like a rapper's rapper. And rappers, he's a lot of niggas' favorite rapper. And when you talk about the credibility of if you do go to war and you beat him, it kind of puts to bed all of the other shit. But there's the other side of it where
talking about from the same niggas that you talk about from the niggas that still heard about him saying what he said, like him dropping out.
Well, just like
Because like most people don't give a fuck.
I think that
most people not going. If he beat Freddie Gibbs, most people don't listen to Freddie.
Well, no. All right, so most people do look at J. Cole in a different light. I think that even his last, like Clouds is fire rapping. It didn't do the numbers that usual J. Cole should do.
Well, he released it on his blog too,
No,
though.
but it's also on his YouTube as well.
Yeah,
well, it came on YouTube a few days later.
Yeah,
it was later
because it's still kind of impacted too, though. Like if you do.
But I will say too is that you didn't see the response from like the reactions. You didn't see the reactions get as many views as we normally would have seen prior with the Clouds joint. I didn't see, and when I was looking at it, like I didn't first off when it first dropped, it wasn't many reactions you could find. And then once they started popping up, they didn't really get like as many numbers as I thought they would have gotten.
Right, but
on those platforms.
Still going to that point, I think that, like I said, Cole's issue is so different than Drake because of Drake's primary fan base was women and people that necessarily was like surrogates of hip hop, but not hip hop or of the culture. Cole, most of his fans were kind of like hip hop-ish.
And most of his fans would listen to Freddie. Most of Cole's fans would listen to Freddie because of that sector in hip hop he actually sits in.
And that's why I think
that's probably true.
It's like high risk, high reward because Freddie's not a walk in the park at all. But if he does that, because of how high people like this, the reason why, because I posted the same question on my Facebook. Truthfully, I was surprised, but the majority answer was Freddie. When it was like the discography and all that.
Oh, the discography, Joe.
Yeah, the majority answer was Freddie.
I'm shocked.
And I was like, oh shit, like this isn't an outlier opinion. Because I was like, as crazy as it might sound, this might be closer than you think, discography wise. But then all the comments, I might have got like 15, maybe 2 said Cole. But everybody else was like Freddie. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh damn. So there's a space where Freddie is respected. And like people fuck with Freddie. He's not mainstream though, but he's a
and that's where the L kind of comes into it.
But that's high risk, high reward though.
What I'm saying is like and then at the end of the day, you'll still the regular listeners. If Cole loses, then that's worse for him. For regular listeners, that's just worse. Like this nigga lost to who? You know what I mean? But for the people who are in hip hop, they're gonna have. It's a reward for those people, but it's like it's not. It's not like Kendrick and Drake, where it's like you know what I mean. They on the same level, and like people know these people, and the L, whichever way this L drops, it's like you know what I mean. Respect it either way, but like as far as this one, it's not going to be to the masses. It's not going to be like a big thing.
When you say the masses, are we talking about like people that aren't inside his fan base or his fan base?
I'm talking about the people,
like the masses,
the casuals. I'm talking about casuals. I ain't talking about niggas who are crate diggers and listen to a whole bunch of underground and can talk music every day, all day. But
no. I'm just talking about I'm talking about his fans, not crate diggers. Who you would decide is his fans. Like the same reason, like I said, why Cole. I think Kendrick's the same way. If Kendrick backed out of beef, it'd be tough for him.
Yeah, but see, I think that he need to.
It's a specific ilk that like the majority of his fan base is. And I'll lend this to give a hotter take. As you said, I was just thinking about it. I think that J. Cole could possibly, if it's respectable, he probably could benefit from losing the beef also. The fact that he gets in, I think Cole getting back in the arena in general does more for his credibility than a lot of other things. I think that he doesn't have to get in the arena. And he'll be amazing and great either way. But if he's trying to win back some of his lost, people like, even if it's like a debatable with Freddie, I could see how that could be beneficial.
I just wish
because a lot of niggas just look at him as pussy.
I'm not knocking Freddie at all. I just wish that he would have been at a higher place in, you know what I mean, on the spectrum of what we call like an A-list.
You know who else would you put out?
But that's what I understand. I understand it. But what I'm saying is, I wish that it was like a Kendrick and Drake. These both are A-list guys going against each other, and so there's going to be there's actually a reward on both sides because even if you lose, the streams that you're going to get from the record that you lost, you're still going to get a big return on it.
Right, but Drake also battled.
Well, hold on,
that's closer to the exact thing. And Drake battled Pusha T because of the credibility he would have got.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is kind of tough though, bro. Like it's a tough debate between the two. Like I still prefer Cole. Like if I had to pick one, but it's really not out of pocket though. I agree with the chat.
Oh, I ain't even see what the chat talking about. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the guys.
Rhonda Wan said Gibbs can't lose to Benny, then get a match with Cole.
But he lost. But he lost to Benny from the fisticuffs. It wasn't an actual rap battle. That nigga, him and his wife. Oh, maybe it was his porno baby mama. They got beat up inside Buffalo after trolling.
Yeah.
But this is also the thing of like Freddie is that he wears his L's so beautifully because he just comes out and makes jokes about them. Mm-hmm. To where like from him getting beat up to like all the other like his baby mama. In that whole scenario, he kind of like walks in it, so it's like interesting. Shout out to my dog, Fat Boy. What's going on, brother? We got listen.
We got some more memes.
Fat Boy, we don't bang over here, my brother. We got only one C inside cracking.
Oh yeah, that was on the same freshman class together too. Now I think about it.
Freddie and Cole. Damn,
it was on the same.
Yeah, it was Cole, Wiz. I want to say Big Sean and Nipsey.
That was a nice ass class.
Yeah. And J-Rock too.
J-Rock was
J-Rock
hey, bro, I'm looking. Well, hopefully J-Rock dropped. Like Redemption was tough.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Redemption was tough.
All right, let's finish off with this one. This one did tickle me. It was hilarious. I'll see if y'all can.
Nigga,
guess
how you still got?
Only did two.
But we like 30 minutes in.
No, we're not. Let me finish off this. And then we'll finish. Hey, listen, y'all niggas.
Go ahead, bro.
But I'm gonna finish off with this quick one. If you can scroll down a little bit, it's a white woman. Staying to the big three conversation, you passed her right there in the middle. I'll push play on this one. I think that this is funny, then we can get up off it.
What am I gonna get? Ah! Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
Adopt.
What the fuck is that?
I knew what it was.
Really listen, right?
Animal. A frog, like a toad.
No.
Donald Duck? I don't know.
No, it's quite the character.
Wow. That was crazy.
Okay.
What? Damn.
I was thinking that. I was like, is she doing Kendrick? And I was like,
I don't even know how you got to Kendrick. What
I see her at the beginning.
Because he be making the noises on certain songs.
I knew I caught the rhythm, bro.
I think it was like off of Peekaboo. I think he did something similar like that. That type of scheme.
Oh, he did it at it was at the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't watch that show.
Yeah.
That's why.
That shit was
I'm
hilarious.
lost.
I was like, is that Dot? But
that's crazy. That's crazy. Jesus.
With that, I yield my time.
All right. I'm going over here. I'm gonna start off here. I think this is an interesting conversation. Oh, what up, Johnny?
What up, Johnny?
Oh, the dog, the homie. Hey, Johnny, tell them niggas that Freddie Gibbs is better than Cole. Discography wise, my bad.
Okay, so I'm gonna start here. Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles have declined a visit to the White House to meet with President Trump after winning the Super Bowl. The reason I did this post was for a reason.
Oh shit!
This had to go in common with the with like the marching band too that had performed at the inauguration.
Yeah, about that.
So it becomes a thing of like, where are we better off not speaking to the administration or ignoring or like missing? Because like it's always been a privilege to like go to the president's to the White House or stuff like that. That's where a lot of people have gotten things done. Ali used to go to the president. Like you had like a lot of these sports entertainers went to the president.
We showed Ice Cube for going.
So it's like I wonder if we're doing ourselves a disservice, like as far as like black people, or not even just black people, where people get so caught up in the fact that they can't stand Trump, like they end up doing a disservice to it. Because it's like, how can you speak up for what you stand for if you never have a discussion?
All right, so you're moving it off of like a sports team.
It's
in
not
like
just
the
so,
idea
it's
of,
more so about like people turning down visits to the White House, which was always a respectable thing to do, but they're doing it because of the fact that they don't want the backlash from people about like if they like, because I'm pretty sure there are some people who are on the Philadelphia Eagles who did vote for Trump. So like I'm sure they wanted to go, but they can't go because as a team they're deciding not to go based off of.
I got you. I want to make
getting
sure
canceled, like the idea of getting canceled, quote
but
them
niggas wouldn't. They ain't them niggas wouldn't get canceled. Oh, shout out to the homie. He said he was gonna find out how to do it, and he did it.
He
appreciate you, brother.
My chat super.
What'd he say?
He said, "Wow, so this is how I make my chat super."
There you go.
We appreciate it, man.
This is another thing. Matter of fact, my Sharon started off right where I want the conversation. Why are we going to kiss the ring? Why should they kiss the ring? Was Ali kissing the ring when he was going there speaking up stuff for us at the White House with the president that we ain't like at that time? I don't think it's kissing the ring to go speak up on stuff that we stand for.
So I just want to make sure we frame the conversation properly so I know exactly what I'm talking about. So you're not specifically talking about Philadelphia and doing like just the ceremonial thing of like we won a championship, take pictures at the White House, turn it down, not turn it down, as much as the idea of engaging with the opposing president. I mean, that you don't agree with and still being able to discuss ideas.
Yes.
Right.
Like
all right. So that's the conversation you want to have, not specific, because I
specifically
got two
the
different
Eagles,
opinions on the thing. So
not specifically the Eagles, but I wouldn't mind hearing your opinion on that too. But it's
I don't care about that. Like, because sports teams across like generations have turned down the invite to the White House. It's not Trump specific at all. Like that's something that has just happened. So I really don't care. It's not that big of a deal, and they're not going up there to talk policy or politics for real. It's a picture. They take the picture, then they take their ass home. I think like sometimes, well, Trump be giving niggas McDonald's, but like they'll have like a little dinner, but that's it. It's just a ceremonial thing. I don't care anything about that. If we're speaking about engaging with the person in power that you're wanting to get things done with, I think if you agree or disagree with them, you have to engage with them either way. This is where you go into like the Ice Cube thing, where like if you got to be willing to negotiate with the opposition, because here's the reality. I'm gonna throw a little to Zelensky in this conversation. I don't know if we're gonna build further into it, but if you was listening in that Trump Zelensky whole little thing, Trump would say like, y'all were campaigning with my opposition, and he'll say something like, well, that was Obama, that was Bush, that was XYZ, and he would say that was the president of the United States. Y'all elect him? And that's how the world looks at it in comparison to like a lot of times how we look at it, where like we go so tribal to where we forget the forest for the trees. And the reality is that if you want something done, it doesn't necessarily matter who the person in power is and who gets credit for it. Get the thing done. Because at the end of the day, the world's not looking at it as specifically Trump, Biden, whoever else, as much as it is like the president of the United States and what's actually getting done. That's my take.
Yeah, what you think?
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I mean, at the end of the day, what are you going to do? Like, what are we going to do? Are we not going to buy anything and do the Al Sharpton thing? Are we going to lobby? Are we going to, like, we don't even want to talk to the motherfucker? Like, what are we going to do though? Are we just going to complain? Is that the goal, or like our actual strategy of making shit better is just complaining?
Yeah.
I don't really think that there's a benefit in it to not go, like, or specifically as you're talking beyond, like you said, having a conversation beyond a sports team going, it's like, if as a person, then first who do we want to go? Who would we want to go?
Yeah.
Like,
what you mean by that?
It's like, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think it would even like change his like point of view if we're going though? Like, I'm trying to find out like what your point of view is, like for us. What
Trump's an interesting one.
Yeah, because like
I think that like if you kiss Trump ass, you can probably get a lot, to be honest. But I also don't necessarily believe in to engage with what Mama Sharon said. I don't think that you should be going there to kiss the ring per se. And I think that the press conference with Zelensky, in my opinion, was a bit of that. it seemed like it was staged in a way that it was going to go one of two ways. They was going to push him to kiss the ring, or they was going to press him. And it was going to be done live on TV inside an either or fashion. Because of Zelensky, you're going to have to take it either way. Pause. Because of you're in America at the White House, and like yo niggas ain't armed for real. Like you're here with us. So you
and this nigga got backup sitting there with him. JD Vance sitting over there. He got backup with him. And my thing was, what I was thinking is like, why would you even let us see this? Because it's obvious. You spoke about the fact that he said that they had a conversation prior to, in which they had back and forth, which the conversation obviously wasn't like something that you would want American people to see, unless what you're doing is you're trying to show this big dick thing that you're trying to show that, you know what I mean? I can treat him this way. And then I'm going to tell him he's supposed to say sorry and he's supposed to be so thankful and he's supposed to that. So you really just wanted to show that you're a bully and that you got somebody by the balls and the kiss the ring for real. Like that was more of the kiss the ring thing.
Hey, but I think that right where you at, just really quickly. And I'm going to throw right back to you. Don't lose your train of thought. I ain't going to lie. What pissed me off the most about it was JD Vance. And the bravado of what you're talking about that he had, because of like I actually believe Trump been dragging like that for a while. Like that's just him. He's always been in power. He's whatever. JD Vance, bro. Like we don't believe you. You got to chill out. Like I know, like Elon taking your spot. So like right now, you trying to like be like take the moment and seize it.
That. Elon is taking like JD Vance's shine.
So like
Elon's like the vice for real, for real. So that's why he had to be there.
He was the first
aggressor for sure. He was,
and that's where to me I was like, oh, you're trying to do the thing.
Yes.
And because the niggas ain't respecting you, but we see through you. Like you're a nigga that. You the cop nigga.
And you know something else?
By that meaning, like you got bullied and then you got some power, now you want to talk crazy.
He wanted to play the bad cop. It was like Trump was trying to play good cop. JD Vance was there to play bad cop. And then once JD did that, then Trump changed sides. Then Trump changed, which like damn, I was to say and even in the whatever you want to call it, in their conversation, you heard Trump say, this is why I wanted to put this up here. So essentially, you're wanting to show why, in my opinion, what you're going to see is us move away from Ukraine. And what we'll do is we'll blame it on the way that he ain't even saying that he was thankful for what we've been doing for him. And he wanted to prove why we're going to leave them alone. But he's going to leave it up to make it seem like, oh, it's because of you are the problem. We couldn't come to an agreement because you don't have you're not trying to be like, what's the word? Diplomatic in trying to solve this thing. And so we'll be in the center and we're trying to play both sides to make this happen. But you're the problem because you see what I'm saying? It seemed like he's trying to play that, which at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm so read into the Ukraine situation. I ain't going to say it, but I can sit there. I can see through what they were doing there. And honestly, I found it to be disgusting. I wanted to turn it off, but because we had to talk about it, I forced myself to watch it.
Listen, so somebody give me just a synopsis of what happened. I didn't watch this shit. I haven't seen this.
I got you. And to start up, I ain't gonna lie, Rail, he wanted to turn that thing off. We sat and watched a little bit of it beforehand.
But embarrassing.
He was he was. I was like, it's only 5 more minutes left. Come on, bro, we gotta talk about it. But all right. So one, address Fat Boy.
What did he say?
He said we too soft for him. I know my opinion specifically is that my opinion specifically, I think Trump was what I thought he was. Like that's not really. I think that JD Vance was really corny in the whole little thing. I actually like Trump kind of did what I expected Trump to do. And if we take the rhetoric and like the optics aside, and what Trump was like theoretically trying to land on, whatever. You like, I get it. Like I got to play the middle because of like which if I'm sense. Negotiating, it actually makes sense. I do not like because again, like I said, I think Trump dragged like that anyway because he's billionaire. He'd always been a nigga in power, and like he got rich, spoiled kid energy to me that's always had it and been dragging. Like when Trump got into his bag, you could see it was kind of natural. JD seemed forced, and that was the corny part to me. It was like, all right, like when Trump Trump had some lines in there.
But
My
even for
nigga
him
Trump
to be
said,
there, even for
"We
JD
give
to
you
be
the
there.
power. We give you the ability to act." Damn, what the fuck he said?
Talk about the part that he has no cards. You won't have any cards to play.
He had a quotable.
If I'm
But my bad.
go ahead.
I'm gonna go to your exact question now. My bad. Could you? So there was a meeting. Maybe Zelensky was in town or in the country to have some version of diplomatic meetings to hopefully come to a ceasefire and some resolution to the war in Ukraine. A part of this, for whatever reason, they were having a sit down with reporters, and like I don't know why they would do that, but that's what they was doing. They had that one scheduled and they had another one scheduled, and then Zelensky had one scheduled with Fox News. So this was the first one that was scheduled, and maybe it was like 45, 47 minutes of a conversation. Those last 15 minutes was the fireworks, where during that part, I can't say that I've watched the entire thing. Roy was kind of putting me on to some things that happened earlier in it, but during that last half of it, it got fairly contentious or pretentious, where it became like a public back and forth in which optically it was JD and Trump trying to push Zelensky. There is a space where Zelensky, I think he might have made the second or maybe first misstep where he told them niggas, y'all ain't felt it yet.
Yeah.
that shit triggered Trump.
It was something about us, like the war is coming to us too.
He said we got to see.
Yeah, we'll see. You know what I mean? That was an L, and Trump called him out immediately when he said that shit. Zelensky said that about like America. We'll see because we pretty much you got it coming. It's going to be coming.
And
he
said we haven't felt it yet because of we have a C between us, which a lot of niggas do say that exact same thing.
Yeah, there's some truth to that.
But yeah.
So basically, what it sounded like to me was like Trump did his normal stuff, and then JD Vance tried to step in a realm of things that he wasn't in, and it sounds like they was just doing this to show
Trump
power.
was like
it was like a show power kind of thing. It was trying, but what showed that we have you by the balls, like you know what I mean. That's what made it so. You know what I mean? For me, like I ain't no type dude to like try to. It's like bullying. Like a grown man, you a grown man, and I'm in a position of where I can sit here and make you look bad and make myself. You know what I mean? I don't really fuck with shit like that.
But it didn't come off genuine. I think that was
and it's
because of like Trump. Like the conversation was just kind of a regular conversation a little bit. JD Vance incited it to the next part.
He did.
And that's when it kind of went crazy. And yeah, I don't know. It was just like I imagine these conversations happen like that behind closed doors. It was weird to see this happening in the public.
Yeah, I think he's trying to show that. I know one of the stories I heard about Trump. Who was it he had found? Or he told like the Taliban. I heard the story about him with the Taliban.
We showed Buddy his house.
Yeah,
we showed Buddy his house.
I think this is along the same lines because that's one of the stories that goes around about Trump that a lot of people like. And this sounds like
what
it was
would that
along
be
the same
in this scenario?
It was like the pretty much that I ain't gonna play. Either you gonna do this or you're pretty much, or we gonna blow your house up type shit. It was like
how was that with Trump this time?
Just like the whole throwing your weight around, showing the power thing. Like
that's what it seems like.
When he was like,
it was like
the war would have been over if it wasn't for our help.
Not even what specifically what he's saying to Zelensky, but more so the American people are watching and they're seeing that he's handling this like that. There's a big base that likes stuff being handled like that. Tell them we paying them all this money. Tell them what to do. This how we coming. Let them know.
But optically, I don't know if it goes.
Forcing them to say thank you, like you know what I mean.
I don't know if it went over as well as they wanted it.
Yeah.
I don't think it
because of Zelensky. Like he didn't really like just fold and say nothing and just he didn't kiss the ring, and that was the part. But then there's also a thing that does have to get it thrown in here, in which there's an Elon angle that's coming, and this is where they was talking about the ceasefire and shit too, where I'm gonna have to look it up in a second, but nonetheless, there is a space where they're trying to work a deal for America to get what, like, it's some resource there.
He mentioned that. He mentioned it in there.
Yeah, like they're trying. I forget. I don't know if it's a treaty as much. Like there's some agreement that they're trying to come to, where it's some resource that they have there that they want to make. Work a deal with America. This resource is also something that's heavy inside Tesla and like a lot of whatchamacallit shit.
Yeah.
And what Zelensky's saying is that, all right, so y'all want me to make this deal. Do we have like some version of an agreement that if we have a ceasefire, then y'all gonna make him honor the deal?
Yeah, because he hasn't honored the deals previously.
Right. And then Trump was like, nigga, what if a bomb dropped when you
because he was talking about the drones. Nah, he did. That's what the reporters crazy. He definitely said that. He was like, the reporter was like, so what if he doesn't follow? What if Zelensky, or not Zelensky, but Putin doesn't actually follow the agreement? And he was, well, what if a bomb dropped through your head?
I'm like, but then if you think about it from Zelensky, it's like, then why the fuck would I be doing this deal with you though?
Yeah,
like if
he was trying to. Zelensky mentioned when he was talking about the drones, that their technology is well beyond our drones, and he was saying that there was something that he was looking to trade for. Mm-hmm. That was the transition, and I'm assuming that resource that they have is what has catapulted their drone technology to where it is, and which is why we're trying to make that exchange. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Okay. And so,
I know what if there is a resource that they're mining over there.
My Shan said lithium. Is it lithium?
All right, maybe that's what it is. That is really beneficial if Elon gets this. When it comes down to Tesla and maybe it's like lithium SpaceX or something like that. To where that ends up being like the other elephant in the room.
You know, it's a lot of the different things that goes into those chips.
Yeah, but like none of that, like that becomes a part where there does become an Elon angle in here that people have been bringing up. Just wanted to introduce that.
Right, because I seen something they was like trying to put like the Tesla technology in these aircrafts now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's kind of like a thing where like they kind of like emphasizing on all these plane crashes. That's kind of something I've been thinking about.
I agree.
That's crazy to put that together. I didn't think about that.
I think about that. I don't think nothing be coincidence.
I was like, bro, it's like
it's just mad happening, and then especially if they're reporting it all the time. Because when I actually went and looked at the numbers, if you look at the statistics, it was more plane accidents happening. So when they start reporting stuff that happens all the time, like they really reporting it heavy, and you see it in circulation.
Oh no, it's a reason for that.
Always
a reason for that.
It's insane, bro.
Fat Boy, he got a chat. He said, man, y'all can't be for real. If you ask me, Trump was too nice. Should have had the homies put hands and feet on
for
Zelensky. What? Little ungrateful ass. I ain't see it yet, Fat Boy.
No.
That's why I ain't going hard.
No, see, it's different.
I've heard the angle in which, like, I would say, like the Unpacked group chat. They was dragging a little on the other side where there was like ungrateful ass Ukrainians, and they was running that side. There is a group that does feel that way.
But I
just think that it optically looked bad. Like I understand, like the idea of Zelensky being grateful, but it is weird to be like, "Hey, well, you ain't said thankful in this interview." It's
right,
like, hey,
right. You come on, bro. Just think about this. Just think about this in your head right now. So you send a motherfucker some billions of dollars, right? Mm-hmm. And they don't say I appreciate it.
Oh, nah.
What are the fucking chances that didn't happen in real life?
I'll be bragging. Like,
there's no fucking way.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah, I just sent this. Yeah, I'm gonna send you a couple B's, and then I'm just fuck you.
And
that ain't gonna happen, bro. That don't even make sense, bro.
I think Johnny's commented a couple things. Maybe I know he said something about rare earth minerals.
Johnny said, other things. That's the issue. We all pay taxes, and when Ukraine has to pay us back, people like Elon get even richer.
Right.
Let me see. He had another one here. He was talking about the minerals. Like same thing. My Sharon was talking about.
It's lithium
over there for. He just said rare earth minerals.
Okay.
And then my Sharon said lithium. Lithium is big because of the batteries.
Oh no, I understand. Yeah.
The battery, like that's like the best thing they done found from the last thing I discovered. I think that's like the best source they have right now.
Well, I mean, they got what is this shit? Nuclear, which is supposed to be the thing that's supposed to be the next transition. Is nuclear energy.
Oh yeah, and then Aunt was making a point too. Lithium over there, just as lithium is in North Carolina, where they are running these people out of that town. No one talks about that, but our country is a dangerous place for lithium.
No, I heard about that too.
Oh yeah. Did y'all see all the fires? Speaking of this week, like it was
nice.
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach was on fire.
Shit,
it was on fire on the way to like coming between Rock Hill and Lancaster. It was like a whole strip on fire there.
Man, I'm like, that's crazy. Fires, bro.
Yeah.
Why did they say the fires were?
I don't know why the fires was. I ain't looked more into it. I kind of think like I feel like people be trying to grab land and stuff sometimes, or they try to set some of these fires on purpose for different reasons. I don't know all the reasons. I don't care to sit there and look it all up at this point. I just don't be thinking certain stuff be like it's never happened, and then it just randomly, just a random fire out of nowhere. Like
we had a fire
that looked like a fire in
last
California.
Week.
Yeah, that's I'm like that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Man.
Yeah.
I gotta keep up with the fires. I ain't been on them joints.
Bro.
Okay, I think we rounded that out though, and I still want to leave some time, so I'm gonna play this one here.
You ain't got no time. Go ahead, bro.
Let's see.
So my mama, she came to me and she said, "You know who benefit the most from DEI?" I said, I didn't know. I didn't even know this at the time. This was like a few weeks ago. I said, who knows? She said, white women. I said, white women? I said, no, ma, you ain't looking at that right. She said, yeah, I seen it. Somebody on TikTok. And I went and I looked it up. And indeed, how ironic is that? How ironic is that? That white women benefit the most from DEI. From diversity, equity, and inclusion, white people, white women specifically, benefit the most. This is the same program that they want black women to defend. Black women have become the guard dog of injustice. They want us to be the one that is sicked on any entity, anything that the media deems to be out of pocket. They deem it to be an infringement on civil rights. They look for black women, a lot of black women in a lot of prominent positions. They look for black women to hold the front line. We should be tired of holding the front line for America. We really should be, but we're not. This is why the Jasmine Crockett's and these people who they come out of nowhere and they just become the face and the forefront of certain things, and you start to see them everywhere because they're not afraid. We, as black women in general, we're not afraid to speak our mind. But if you couple that could be a good thing when we are knowledgeable and when we have righteous, ideologies, when our mind is in line with the Most High, when our mind and our thoughts are in line with what the Father who created us said to do. And it can also be very detrimental to us and also our culture when we use that same power, but now it's being used and abused for other people's agendas. And this is where DEI comes into the picture. So my mama.
Yeah. Hey, I thought it was great that she came up with one name. I wanted to see more. I needed some more names of these women that are just pushing this envelope. There's these powerful women that you see pushing this envelope. I wish she would have named a couple more names just so I could be more informed.
Mm-hmm.
But what was your reason?
Well,
the
thing she was talking about black women being the guard dogs for programs that don't benefit them.
Mm-hmm.
Like
she pretty much sound like okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was trying to see what y'all thought about that sentiment.
Black women being the guard dogs for programs that don't benefit them.
Like DEI didn't benefit black women, but they're like using.
Well, I thought it was weird. Honestly, I don't know if I believe that where her take stands. Like she said, like black women are the guard dogs. Sounds like for black people or the black community that black women are the guard dogs for our our culture in general. That's what it sounds like the black women are the warrior class as it relates to the empowerment of black people, and they're the ones pushing. That's what it sounds like. If you didn't get that, you can listen, play it again. But that's kind of that's what it sounded like. And also I don't know if the feminist movement, we've already seen this trick. If what she said is happening, I don't know. I'm not a woman, so I've not heard the white women call on the black women for help on the DEI thing. I haven't heard that, so I don't know if that's true. But you know what I mean? She that's what I'm saying. Like the basis on which her perspective is coming from, it sounds very empowering, but I don't see the validity.
I missed the second half of it.
I was trying to tell you to not walk out there because I knew you was gonna want to. I'm gonna play it.
Okay.
And she said, "You know who benefit the most from DEI?" I said, I didn't know. I didn't even know this at the time. This was like a few weeks ago. I said, who knows? She said, white women.
Which is a fact.
I said, white women? I said, no, ma, you ain't looking at that right. She said, yeah, I seen it. Somebody on TikTok. And I went and I looked it up. And indeed, How ironic is that? How ironic is that? That white women benefit the most from DEI, from diversity, equity, and inclusion. White people, white women specifically, benefit the most. This is the same program that they want Black women to defend. Black women have become the guard dog of injustice. They want us to be the one that is sicked on any entity, anything that the media deems to be out of pocket. They deem it to be an infringement on civil rights. They look for Black women, a lot of Black women in a lot of prominent positions. They look for Black women to hold the front line. We should be tired of holding the front line for America. We really should be, but we're not. This is why the Jasmine Crockett's and these people who they come out of nowhere and they just become the face and the forefront of certain things, and you start to see them everywhere because they're not afraid. We, as Black women in general, we're not afraid to speak our mind. But if you couple that could be a good thing when we are knowledgeable and when we have righteous, ideologies, when our mind is in line with the Most High, when our mind and our thoughts are in line with what the Father who created us said to do. And it can also be very detrimental to us and also our culture when we use that same power, but now it's being used and abused for other people's agendas.
Okay.
And
so, what was where were you looking for
There's
the
a part I agree
conversation
and
to
a part
go?
I disagree with her.
Where were you looking for the conversation to go? As like, what did you want to talk about? I don't want to go in.
If Black women are the guard dogs for injustice, kind of that route.
All right. Or did somebody else want to hop in before I go? Okay. All right. I would say there's a space where I would say yes. Like this conversation, there's two parts that I probably want to hit. I'll just hit the guard dog part first. I think that generally speaking, there's a space where Black women and probably gay men, and I'll just say gay men. That's probably like more broader. If you're talking the liberal perspective of shit, these are the people that they push up front for sure. And these are the people that, whether like, what is it? Joanne Reed, she just got fired. She's another person that people might say puppet that was pushed in front to give the talking points of whoever they is on the Democratic or liberal side of the conversation or left side of the conversation. You do see that often. I think that generally speaking, the voice of Black women, like even if we talk about like maybe, and this is social media based, I guess, still, because like if we're talking about like whether it's like the Black Lives Matter or like whatever injustice movement, you do see a lot of forefront Black women in which is being highlighted because there's an intersectionality typically that works for the optic of like the big. You said what?
No, I can see the way that you're getting to the lane of thought that I can see how you're getting there.
Like it's beneficial for me. It's beneficial for them, like they
for sure.
Where like I guess like what she's trying to say, and which I agree, like they're the people that's in front, not necessarily to their detriment, but it's not always usually for their benefit. Where typically the people that go ahead.
So are you saying that Black women are at the forefront of the? I just want to make sure
they're used as the guard dog for sure.
They're used. They're pushed to the forefront for the liberal movements. Like on the Democratic side, the Black women are they're utilized.
The guard dogs. Dog face. Not bad. But like I wouldn't disagree with that.
You would naturally be as a man a little more conservative, and you won't necessarily lean.
Gay
on
white
that.
men and Black men, they also use them too. I think that all three of those are probably like the three faces, and then gay white women is another one. Yeah. But like straight white women, they usually end up being like faces for like right conservative.
Yeah.
But like the women with the little fade and the little thing, those women be up there. What's Shorty on MSNBC?
But hold on, but are we talking about because that's why I said I wish you would have named more names, She said Jasmine Crockett, and
that's
then
Congress, but she also do a lot of media.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the people that are in these platforms that she's talking about that they're utilizing. Oh, like the Oprah, or not Oprah, but Whoopi Goldberg on the View
like
thing.
on the View and shit like
okay,
that.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. For my educational purpose, I would like to know a lot more of these names so that I could actually match this thing. But the way that you kind of presented that is like them being the face for it. It's to me, it just, and this is like the same thing with like the feminist movement. Like, and this is what kind of got to me. It was like with I think of a us thing. Anytime I like, if like with the black woman in the black, I think of a us thing. And so to say it just sounded weird for them to say like women are leading the movement. That's pretty much the beneficial movement for like if like.
But I think she's using it in a negative way. Like
it's not
like
it's not a positive.
She's not saying they're leading the movement. She's saying that they're as like a front facing guard dog. It's more so of like an insult.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, there's been a few comments in here.
Read the super chat first. I know that we did get on the super chat.
He said, "No lies told. I'm so sick of seeing Jasmine Crockett in that dry ass GoFundMe wig shaking left and right."
You got I'm not mad at Jasmine Crockett. She just jump off the ledge sometimes.
She really do. It sounds like a woman who like when you get into an argument with a woman, she ain't listening to nothing you're saying, and you trying to explain yourself, but she keeps turning around everything you're saying. She kind of come off like that to me. I have a hard time listening to her just for that fact, because I'll be listening to this stuff and it's like, okay, I'm for the calling out stuff that's for real.
Mm-hmm.
But when you just making stuff, like you keep using stuff to make it an excuse, kind of or you trying to make stuff that might be a positive thing and it's something negative all the time. Like everything is it's something. Well, you just have to see it.
And maybe this is what you're hitting. Like she will engage all the time in the Trump witch hunt. I think that there's times that she's correct in the Trump witch hunt, but those can be boy that cried wolf when it comes down to like she's always going to drag every single day. That also then come like when like a lot of the back and forths inside like the Congress and shit like that. I don't really be feeling a kind of way about it just because it's usually like a country right. White woman dragging, and then there's just like black woman from I don't know where she at. Seemed like she DC or something like that. Dragging, and they're both like being ignorant, and like I don't know, like I don't. It just both of these motherfuckers. Like when the white woman told her like meet me outside, I say, oh shit, we got bad baby out here. What the fuck is happening? But it was a white woman that said that. I was like god damn. But. Both of them, but she'll drag shit. Beach, blonde, bad built, butch body. I was like, God damn, is this what the Congress is about? I don't know. Like when it comes to that, I think that like we just need better decorum inside Congress in general.
Yeah,
agreed.
But I do see where when it comes to the witch hunt, she could become the boy that cried wolf.
Mm-hmm. And my Sharon was saying she was explaining she was saying that we were held as the guard dog when it did not benefit us. That's what basically the lady was saying. So I would agree with that. I do think that black women get used in this position a lot. I actually agree with about everything that the woman said. Where it's a lot of movements that play against us. I think black men get used in these ways sometimes too. And like you said,
you said gay black men.
Gay black men.
Oh, okay.
But I think, gay black men. It ain't really. I can't really see where they utilize straight black men so much because it's like they try to do a different thing.
No, I'm joking. They use the hell out of Al Sharpton.
Is Al Sharpton?
They're using that nigga. Right. You got to question any nigga with a perm, man. We know that.
In 2025, that's different.
Any nigga with a perm. But I do have like did you want to continue?
I was looking at this comment. Unc said, what if Obama had his pants sagging off his ass and grabbed his nuts while he was doing a debate? Like,
that's crazy.
He did that for the hood, bro. That'd be for the hood.
Then Unc said, gay black men are all the ones in media today that does all political events. Look it up. You'll see that it's true.
But I guess this will be my opposing view to it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, like most of what she said about the like guard dog and all that shit, I actually agree with. I think that maybe I've said this on here, maybe I said it on Unpack, I can't remember. But I do think that right now in Black America, we're inside like a very interesting and weird space, especially when it comes down to the DEI and DEI conversation because of we don't benefit first, second, third, or fourth, or fifth from the DEI whole initiative. But I think that it's also the saying that when I'll use one, I don't know if this is like exactly it, but when it rains in America, it floods in Black America.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we'll probably be most affected by it. As crazy as that sounds. And I think who benefits the most is what we call white supremacy, the white male structure. Because of end of the day, if we go in the hierarchy lens, they're gonna clear house for them, and they're gonna look out first for their old lady, and then it's gonna be the immigrants and the minorities fighting for scraps. But when you look at how, shout out to Andre 3000, why do dark-skinned people across the globe suffer the most? Black people have always still been placed at the bottom of that totem pole. And so like it's such an interesting like double-edged sword where to me, I don't think that we should be talking about ending DEI as much as reforming DEI because of the end of DEI probably will be most detrimental, even though we're not benefiting in the highest range.
So where I have to disagree with that is I don't think we're in the same America we used to be in as far as like a lot of people keep talking about racism. I don't think this is the same, like we're in the exact same racist America is how people like to describe it and everything. I think that our views as a whole have changed and evolved overall to where I don't think that's like necessarily the biggest issue. I think classism is bigger issue than racism at this point. But I guess I'm trying.
So do you? So I guess we can walk down a couple of different avenues with this. So yes, I think that time has evolved from the 50s, 60s, 70s, in which racism isn't like always the forefront thing, but I think like there is still a variable that exists. Right. And I think that people, no matter what, are still tribal. You can look at like dating to whatever you want to do, in which like I think that that's innate to humans. And this is why like I don't even know if like it's like this. Like it's not even necessarily to blame the fact that like white people only want to fuck with white people as much as like most people only want to fuck with their in group anyway. But
the question I'm thinking about though is white people, is the white person the most important voice in America at the moment? Like I don't think that's the case. Like I don't think the white person is the like the white man is not the most important voice. The white woman is not the most important voice. I don't think that.
Meaning what do you mean?
Like as far as like okay, so like we're still setting things on a standard of white supremacy. I don't see how you can end racism setting things on a standard.
No, I think
of white
like
supremacy.
we're about to see white supremacy. Well, no, my bad.
The reason
we're seeing white supremacy like flex a muscle right now.
I don't know if that's the case because it's black people making these decisions right along with them. Like
no, like you get a rare token. Right now, you're seeing minorities fired for white people right now. Like that is kind of what is happening, and that's under the guise of like they were DEI hires. Like right now, they don't really drag that on Asians. They're not dragging DEI hire on Asians. They're not dragging that on like Indian doctors or anything like that. It's black faces in the room. They're dropping the DEI, even though that person was probably less likely to be a beneficiary of DEI.
See, the other part about it is like, and it's like I'm not saying you're wrong on that, on specifically what you just said right there. That we'll probably be suffering the most, but at the same time, it's I don't necessarily think that's true. Like I also think that if you're looking at a thing of meritocracy and the system of meritocracy, when they set these things in order before, we was really the ones with the most talent, we had the most skills, we was doing this stuff.
But when has America ever been a meritocracy?
But hear what I'm saying though.
When has meritocracy ever been a system?
So what I'm saying is essentially I think that system was originally set up in order to get the black people out because they had the most skills, and if it was just based off of skills, then it would have been the job. Now at this point, I'm not sure if we have the most skills or are the best at what we do. I don't think we're necessarily the best at everything we do like we used to be. I think there was I'm trying to figure out how to.
So I guess
this.
so where are you landing at with that point that you're saying? Because like if you're saying that we're not the most skilled, and like they're saying that they're trying to push to a system of meritocracy.
So what I'm saying is
that would default to black people like hurting even more than inside that.
Like I'm trying to figure out where I'm going with it.
Okay. Yeah, I want to hear what what you're trying to say.
I guess going back to I'm trying to round this out, like because I'm thinking a lot at the same time.
You were saying that we've come a long way from the ideas of back in the day, and as far as landing on white supremacy as the foundation. Then you move that to say, damn, you moved that on and said that, oh yeah, we're not or do you think now that we are the best as we were the best in previous years of black people, like we were the most qualified for the positions? You're saying that we're not as qualified.
So it was I was saying multiple things at one time while I'm sitting there thinking. So part of it is I do think that we're going to end up not like I can see how that would affect us in a way, but I also see that we're in a lot of positions where we do have the power to affect things. Like it's not just the same where we don't have any power at all. We have some power with, like, this nation is built off of us, and we're still the big influence in this nation. So,
but would you say, my bad? I don't want you to lose your thoughts. So do you want to finish that, or should I?
Go ahead.
All right. So, in saying that I agree with that. We've built the nation and we have influence, but would you say that we are in power of that influence, or is that exploited influence and people that exploit as profit at a higher margin and they hold the keys? Whether we want to look at hip hop, media, anywhere that is like we have influence, there's typically somewhere. There's typically somebody pulling the strings, and we also complain about that.
So basically, what I realized is we have to stop looking at them to decide the standard. Like that's basically what I see it as. Like as far as like the fact that people look at DEI as something, or even like white supremacy in itself being a thing. Like we still looking at them as the standard of the thing instead of like just doing what we do. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like it's this constant deal of I'm lesser than that we're not acknowledging. But that constant ideology.
You get closer to somewhere I can agree with. Man.
Yeah, the constant ideology of lesser than, whether we acknowledging it or not, it's a thing that keeps us in that position. It keeps us subservient. So like stuff like CRT or DEI, even though these movements are said to help us, so-called, like I'm just naming these things because like hear me out. Even though these movements are said to help us, I'm not sure if this is necessarily helping us to keep reminding us that, hey, y'all is lesser than and y'all got racism to deal with, and you this and you this. I'm not sure if those things actually benefit us to keep staying focused on that ideology, on that ideation.
There's a bunch of things that I agree with, and then there's a spot where I deviate a little bit. So I agree with, like, because this is where my disagreement on like the fact that we're always victims of. I forget what the whole framing of it is, but I don't really land on that lens at all. And victim mentality is his own thing, and I agree with that. Or I disagree with being like a victim at all times of white supremacy to where like you're handcuffed and shit like that. I'm there with you. I also am not in favor of CRT being taught. So I think that I agree with you in that as well. Where I disagree would be the framing of grouping specifically DEI when it's done properly into that group, only because of the reality of that just stays. It's like pushing away from a monopoly. And if it's like when done correctly, and again, like we can argue about if it's done correctly. And that's why I say like it seems like we should be pushing more for reform than like abolishment. But if done correctly, it's just saying making sure that there's a diverse amount of people and it's not monolithic of qualified individuals, because of there is a space where any group would prefer to be homogenous. And I think that to me, that's where DEI, the concept, like again, when we say DEI, like we're talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. But I think that, yeah, like I said, I think that reforming it to make sure that it is fair representation for people that are qualified and is not just benefiting like intersectionality. I think that that's where the reform should go. Real.
Well, I got a question, and this may be a question from ignorance. What was the last thing that we reformed that actually was working better?
What was the last thing that?
Or what? Just give me a name of a thing. What we have reformed that actually works good now that we be like, yeah, that's what we think should be.
You said what?
You talking about like from like a blueprint point of view to like to keep following,
right? Or just anything we've seen be reformed and actually work like we would like it to work, instead of like, because it sounds good to say like we should reform DEI, but it's like the idea of like, if it was created to not benefit me, to then think that I don't think it was created to not
benefit you. I think the way that it worked, it didn't benefit you.
Well, I think it was a sound good thing, and then if it's a lot of the times, like I said, just answer that first question. But hold on, answer my question first, and then because I want to build from there.
To answer that, like off the top of my head, it's hard for me to like think. I can research really quickly, and y'all continue talking and look at like things that have been reformed, and if they have things that I agree with or not. It's hard for me to think of like certain things that have, like one could say reformation on like the social systems would be the civil rights movement. And whether even if you go like education, there's been reform within education to standardize testing and shit like that. Like I don't like this is me, and this is me like freestyling, but
yeah,
I'm sure that there is like examples of reformation that have worked. I don't know.
And if y'all know something, like I said, this could be a question from ignorance, but I was thinking about this before. I don't really know of something that we reformed that we can say like, okay, this is working as we believe it should be working.
But then let me ask you
this whole reformation process. I think it sounds good, just like the whole like okay, and then also, how do you know if you're a DEI hire?
Mm-hmm. Well, but that's where, in my opinion, it becomes like such a like this is like dog whistling, in my opinion, because of DEI on its face is only talking about making sure that there's diversity inside qualified participants.
Right. Yeah, there's diversity in the people that get the job, but there's no way for you to know whether or not you were a DEI hire. You're pretty much submitting your application and you got the job because you're you know what I mean, you look qualified for the position. Generally, I understand there was times where people were overqualified, not even getting jobs, because we've always had to work like twice as hard as I understand all of that, but I'm asking, like, y'all may know something more than what I know, and that's why I'm trying to figure out, okay, so if we talk DEI, like, where is it that we can actually say we know for sure that this is actually
I think
a thing
that's
that
the
we're
part
seeing?
that's the dog whistle, though, is that
but I mean, is like, it, or does it just really sound good? Or is it something that sounds good? So I can tell you that I'm doing something right. It's so, like, the whole idea is so ironic that you're saying you're doing something for me, but then this whole time you've been doing this for a long time, and then all of a sudden when it's put to fire, we found out that though we've been the face of this thing, you're actually benefiting less than even the LGBTQIG.
To do like two different. All right. So what was the first question you was just asking?
Where reform has worked.
Yeah.
Then I asked you if y'all know of a way that you figure out whether you were a DEI hire or not. My bad. And those were the only two questions that I asked.
Okay. Right.
So what would be the qualifications for a DEI hire?
Right. What would be the qualifications for a DEI hire? I would assume that this person is getting the job. Even if you say out of the qualified candidates, that means that because we're close, I'm gonna pick you because you're da.
But
even like you mean that
like everybody's qualified, then you're getting a job also
because you're this thing.
But it's not because you're less qualified,
though. No, I'm not saying you're less qualified. That was nothing that I said at all. I'm just saying that where is it that we can see that can be proven, like, or you know what I mean, that this is what you're doing, and then even if that is the case, like, it's crazy that the black people are the face of the very thing that you are benefiting the least.
Okay.
And black people are fighting to keep it, or you know what I mean? And then we're saying we should reform it when we can't see a positive reformation.
No,
to have or at least that's what I'm seeing.
We can see a clear negative.
Absolutely. There's plenty of clear negatives.
But no, I'm talking about negatives of like abolishing it. And this is where, to me, I think that the biggest sound good part of it is abolishing DEI. Like, we lose the most in that. So like instead of
we actually don't lose the most, because if we benefit the least, then we don't lose the most.
I just tried to walk down it.
I understand what you're saying. You're saying if I'm a white man, then I'm gonna hire white men, then I'm gonna hire a white woman, and then I'll hire the immigrant before I hire the black person. You're saying that no matter what, they're still gonna want to push you down to the bottom of the list. That's how you. Yeah. That's what you believe.
But there was some beneficiality of DEI. Like whether like we came in fifth or whatever, there was some benefit to it.
So you think it's more beneficial to like it's benefit? Like, I understand.
I think it's more beneficial to reform it.
It was like 4% were going to black people. There was 3% black women and 1% black men. I actually when I looked it up. That's what I got.
And you're saying what percent was white women?
But I didn't. The only thing I was looking at is where we landed. So I didn't actually do everybody else. I just looked up where we landed. It said 4% of black people make up the DEI hires, and then 3% of them are black women and 1% is black men. If you look at the totality of the, tell me what you want. I mean, that's what I saw. And at the end of the day,
like that sounds like such a 4% just sounds
very low. It sounds. It doesn't sound realistic.
It doesn't sound realistic. That's why
I understand.
I would love to, because of, what do you like? Who's benefiting? Like, so what percent are you saying that white women benefited?
Like I said, I didn't look up the percentage for white women. I was only trying to figure out where we landed.
All right, chat. Hey, throw in the DEI hire breakdown. If anybody can look it up.
Chuckle says it's like 75% white women.
Okay.
I mean, it's just and then for the LGBTQ movement to be above us, even still when that movement is new, like we done it. We've been, you know what I mean? So it's like to me, I feel as though like it's not even. I'm not on the ledge with it. I'm not on the ledge with it to keep it just to be able to say we getting the 4% more than what we was, and then we the face. So we're the next. It's like food stamps. It's like food stamps. Like I ain't saying do away with food stamps for sure, but I think it's like it's really fucked up that like most of the people on food stamps are white people. Really? What vast majority, like by a lot.
I didn't know that.
By a fucking like.
I didn't know that.
By a lot. The thing is, and I think that also this is something too that I go with Tone when he was talking about like the white supremacy and like the mindset thing, bro. Most white people are poor. We sit there and we'll say white people and we just automatically put this like thing all the way at the top, and it's like, no, bro. Most of them are not.
So you also do have to say most rich people are white also.
Right, but I mean the population of rich people comparative to the population of poor people is astronomical.
But also what is astronomical is the the amount of money from the top 10% and the amount of money from the bottom 90%.
Absolutely.
And then if you go like the top 20%, and then you go like that's even more astronomical.
I 100% understand that. But if we talk about, of course, the richest person or the richest people are going to be
hoarding wealth. Like where the wealth is, where all the money is.
I understand that, but where all of the poverty is where I think that we got to make sure that we understand so that we can see where we actually rank or where we actually are comparative to the full population. Because we'll like he was saying, it's a mindset thing, and you sit there and think every time you say the white man, you thinking better than self.
Yeah,
you thinking better than self in some position that's their life is so much easier. And they have so much more than you have, but I'm just saying it to say that
but those people,
most of them do not.
Yeah. But also is most of the people that do have that white.
Is most of the people that do have more than you white? Yes. Is that what you're asking?
They got the blue.
I would say yes in America.
Like so, it's a double-edged sword. Like there's more white. It's just because they are way more, and that's
well, they say
you got to look at it at both ends because of neither one of those statements are wrong. Like there's also the majority of managers, majority of Fortune 500, majority of millionaires, majority of billionaires, the majority of managers. But the thing is that they're all white, and also the majority of food stamps, the majority of people that are on public housing, the majority of poor people in America, the majority of drug addicts, they're also white. Like it's like, but you have to juxtapose both of those things to make the fair argument. If we just lean on one side of it,
I know. See the thing that I was talking about. I don't know what you think my intent is from saying that, but my only intent from saying that we need to acknowledge the poor is because we have to acknowledge where we actually are, like that the whole idea of whiteness being better. Like he was, it's a complex that though you're not necessarily like actually thinking, like you don't believe that you're actually saying that, but the idea is that you are regurgitating and you're saying that to yourself all the time. Wow, all of these people are where they are, and it's not. I'm not saying it is good to see them where they are. I'm just saying that it makes it so that you humanize yourself and your struggle when you can say that the white man is just not doing better than me. Because I seen bro in Sugar Creek holding a sign. And he be out there all the time, and I, you know what I mean. And so, like, just to humanize the struggle to make it so you're not such a victim. Because at the end of the day, like, think about being white in the country where you suppose if it's supposed to work for me, you know what I mean. And that's what you say. I go, it's more of a class thing than it is a race thing. Because if it was more of a race thing, then they wouldn't be offing themselves like they are.
Yeah. I think it's different, like access to different connections too. And like sometimes we even have, I just got to be real. Sometimes we have racism in our own community, bro. It's facts. You know what I'm saying? Light skin, dark skin. You see it on social media.
My nigga Trey would not agree with this. Keep going.
You say you don't agree?
No. I ain't saying me.
Oh, but
yeah,
we do, man. Like
I
we
agree
even
with
like
this.
judge like our
The
own
FDA
social
coming,
statuses and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
They just look down on each other. Like we got to do a better job of like supporting our own, and then like and for those that do have their own like in their own business, we also got to be fair about it. You know what I'm saying? We can't just be trying to get over on somebody, like just because you got some type of business going on and that stuff like that. They're trying to skip the process, basically. You know what I'm saying? Stuff don't happen overnight, man. You know what I'm saying? You just got to keep working and keep at it.
And that's one thing. One of the things I was saying earlier, I definitely commend our women. Black women, because that's one thing you will see. They support the shit out of each other, bro.
We got.
I would be dope if, like, you know what I mean, because we like when you can look at them and like I always talk about looking at the Hispanics because they're so close to us and we can benefit so much from learning from how they're moving as a community. But like the black women as men, bro, I think that there's a lot for us to learn about the support that the black women are giving each other in the community is
right.
For sure.
The women is way more supporting than. Unfortunately, the males.
Hey, but it's crazy because they're supportive amongst it, but with the men, they still ain't shit. But we can love each other. We'll love on each other.
You brought it to a great point right there because it just got me thinking about the fact that so you're saying like how black women are and everything. If you look at that example, and like regardless of what anybody else say about black women and the negative stuff that people speak about black women, they still have this ideology of themselves where it's like it doesn't affect their movement. Because they have this whole thing of we're going to do this. So it's like when you take that and you look at it in the perspective of white supremacy and you see it the other side, if we wasn't focused on them and we was just focused on us, it would be a different story. Because it's one of the things I was thinking about, like when Kendrick Lamar did his performance and people sitting there like, yeah, that was well needed today. That was spoken today. He did that. It was a great show. But the people who needed to get the message don't care about it.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
What did it say? Who was he talking to? The people who already want the message to get out. That's why I was like, we didn't really.
Or just pissing off people who didn't want to
see it. They didn't care anyway. So if they're not gonna care, they're not gonna care.
But so speaking truth to power isn't important.
It's not about. It's not about that. I do think speaking
entertaining motherfuckers.
But
well, I mean, if
the power
maybe you're not saying that what he was saying was true. I don't know. I took it. What you were saying is that like he was giving a message to people that wasn't there to hear.
He was giving a message to
people who just don't care.
All right, so that sounds like speaking truth
we
to
care
power.
about. Basically, what I'm saying is the people who we cared about getting the message did not care about getting the message. So the only people who was really getting the message.
My bad. Say that one more. You said the people
who we cared about getting the message was not getting the message.
And by that meaning, like the people in power.
Yeah. So basically, those people, if they're not getting the message or they don't care about the message,
right?
Then who are you really speaking to? You only talking to.
So, and this is where I go to. So do you believe that it's not important to speak truth to power?
I think it's important to speak truth to power, but I think it's more important to have your mental together to know that you're powerful yourself without somebody having to tell you. You the power.
Okay. I think that's a fair. I don't know if those are mutually.
You dropped that, did it?
Yeah, but Tone, do you think that that's like a mutually exclusive thing?
As far as what,
like you can't have your mental together and speak truth to power.
You can have your mental together. You can speak truth to power, but you have to speak truth to power and ensure that they're listening. If they don't care and they're not really listening, who are you speaking to?
Entertaining motherfuckers.
Okay,
entertaining people. Like it's a conundrum. This is pretty much what I'm saying. For people to keep sitting there saying, "Yeah, they don't care about us. They don't care about us," and then on another hand to be like, "Yeah, we eat because we speak in power to them." If they don't care about you, they don't care about what you got to say. So it's like, how do you make somebody care about what you got to say? You get what I'm saying? Like,
oh no,
I'm not against.
No, understand.
But
So like, there's like, it's like our line of agreement is like let's say this is our line of agreement, and I think that like as you talk, you do this a lot of times with me. So like, there's a bunch of things that you're saying that I do agree with, and I think that those are like parts that like you will have like the chat. The FBA chat like on my ass for like 3 weeks because I agree with you on these shits, right? But there's also parts that I disagree with inside like the nuances of like, you know, the specific things where I think like right now you're speaking about like I do, like personally I do think that there's importance in speaking truth to power, but I also think that there's importance and self-autonomy, doing for self, and not being a victim of the power structure. But in the same sense, there is also importance in the education of understanding what the system is. And that would be also acknowledging, i.e., whether it's white people in like charge, XYZ, the identification of white supremacy. But I don't believe in being a victim of white supremacy. And as you see, like there's spaces where we kind of do this a little bit.
Because it's like you can see two sides to a coin. It's not
right.
And to be honest, we're not even really doing this. I see both sides of the coin. Right. We're really right on the same page. It's just I'm asking questions to get people to think about other sides of things where it's like you can't be stuck in one mentality. Like a lot of people get stuck in this mentality, but they don't ever think about these things of how are the people who listen, are is this actually reaching people? Is this actually serving us? Like that's what I was going.
And my only opinion that kind of like this is where I diverge a little bit is that I do see value in like the performative part of like art, because of art speaks through generation. It's like revolution, like it sparked. There's so many songs that it sparked like different things and images in me. And it might not have hit everybody, but it hit me at that moment, right? But do I think that this is the thing that's going to change the revolution? No, I don't think that either. But there is importance of documentation through our writers, our artists, our XYZ that I would never want to get dumbed down to say that it's not important.
I don't think we should focus so much on getting people to understand it that don't care. I think we should focus more like how we was talking about how black women are. They don't care what everybody else got to say about them necessarily. They have a certain thing that's there where they look out for black women regardless. They look out for each other regardless. It ain't a matter of what everybody else got to say.
And my only thing is that like I think we can walk.
They don't care about none of that. We need to get on that type time is what I'm saying. We need to stop caring about what as black people.
Black people or black men.
People as a whole need to get on the time of black women.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you now. You better stop complimenting these black women. Trade, let me stop. But I don't disagree with you at all. I like I said, my only space would be the fact that I already said there's no reason for a circle.
And I think this kind of instead of I fuck the memes, those are done. What time is it now?
It's 2:47. We didn't talk about Gervonta.
Oh, you ain't getting none of it.
We ain't talk about shit that was on the dock.
We've been turned up though. What say Q? You are on involuntary victim of
what he said. With Q, you are an involuntary victim of white supremacy,
bro. If you want to be an involuntary victim of that, you could be that, bro.
Well, I mean, the thing is that I remember when y'all were having that conversation on Unpack. Like, the thing is that I understand that. I think it's like to understand that like you are a victim, but you don't identify as a victim. Those are two different things. Those are two different things. Like even like somebody can have been touched by a PDF, right? And then they still don't victimize. That means that though this has happened, the way that I see and live my life, it doesn't mean that I have to live in internalized victimhood. So these are two different things, but I mean, at the end of the day, I don't see how it could not be factual basis that if you are here and you are FBA, I can't speak for anybody. I know that our history shows that we are victims because
the history of our people is that we have been victimized. I think that there is a space of personal autonomy that exists now in America. We can't be like the world ain't that racist and all this shit. And also still then drag on the fact that we ain't nothing but victims of white. Bro, there's a place of of self-autonomy that if you only lend it to white people, you give them all the power. And I just don't land on that. I do think that black people can be successful and do for self in America by themselves. That's just not
okay. Well, just the thing is that it's still a fact that if it wasn't for what the history, we would own more because we would be passing down. Hold on, I'll let you get that.
No, I'm just saying that's victimized.
Okay, I got that. Well, what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, you are still a product of that. Yeah. You are still a product of that, regardless of if you allow it to make you to make it to hunt and you know what I mean to minimize your
that means victimized. That's
bro. I let you get it off, bro.
Okay, my bad.
What I'm saying is like it's a fact that the reason why the Head Start was or the reason why we are now where we are now is because of the Head Start being given, right? So the reason why you're gonna have the top 1% look the way that it looks is because of generational wealth, right? In exchange of information, and they created the motherfucking system, so of course you would know how to exploit the system. So it just makes sense. But so to say that you're not a victim is like. I'm not saying you can say and feel however you want to feel. This is, in my opinion, I can see where it's like, bro, there's no way around that thing. But I'm not gonna live like that. I can see for sure that like I've been able to get to the place that I've gotten to, and of course, like I may have had to, let's say, work 2 times as hard. Maybe that is the case.
Yeah, that's the case.
And that may be the case, but at the same time, I can see that like through my work. I can accomplish things that like the generation before me couldn't accomplish. And it's, you know what I mean, simply based on how society was, you know what I mean? The social construct during the time. I can identify that and see that I have more opportunities than the generation before me. But then it also means that I have to identify that the generations before me were victims. And there's, even if you say that you're moving, it's getting better. Right. It's getting better doesn't mean that it didn't exist or it doesn't exist. It's just getting better.
Can I ask you something real quick?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel like we, like as black people, like network, like in the black community? Like I feel like sometimes, I feel like we need to do a better job with that too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just having like, we kind of at a disadvantage of having access to certain rooms and stuff like that. We don't really go to like certain events. We don't want to do stuff like that. We don't want to vote. You know what I'm saying? We need to talk about that. The numbers in the voting is low too.
Bro, I was trying to find out the fucking what would the breakdown on how many the population of black people that didn't vote this last time.
It was bad, bro.
I've been trying to. You find that statistic on, bro? It's so easy to find for every other election, but the last one, I was literally looking for it, and I was telling Tone week after week, like, bro, I still want to see this data to see exactly, you know what I mean, how many people set out, because like I set that one out. Yeah, I set that one out as well, and I think that like,
and I wanted to set it out too, but like I still felt like I had to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I still participated in the voting, but when I looked at the data, the black women had us beat, of course, but like I think black men was like the lowest.
Yeah, I think, and see, the thing is, it was showing like who they voted for, right? Like, you know what I mean? It was the black women came and they voted like. A good clip voted for Biden, right. And men, we voted less than the women, and you know what I mean. Yeah. But it still wasn't anything like super bad. But I'm talking about the people who just decided not to vote. Like as far as how many black people, and when Biden was elected, voted versus how many black people voted in this past one. Right. You know what I mean? And I think that number will tell a lot. I think that's an important number, and that's why I kept trying to find it. But I think that's a very important number to tell kind of where we are right now. So you think
that also plays into the system too, as far as like how like some of these like corporations think, as far as like employment and stuff like that to the black community and stuff too?
I think it could. I think that see, and I was talking about this earlier too. I think that, and I was in the military, right? So I got guys that I know that were in the military and are reaping the benefits of that service and still don't feel American. Like I think that is, if we, because the thing is that if the capitalism isn't going anywhere, only thing you can do is embrace the system and just look at what the immigrants doing. They embrace the system. They come here to be a part of the system so that they can build. Right. And so we like not to identify as American, and so we're like counter culture. You know what I mean? We're counter American culture while creating American culture. While, you know what I mean, influencing it so much, but we don't want to. We don't want to, you know what I mean? We feel less American than any Indian, you know what I mean? But I think that we had, though it's tough when you're looking at the history to have, like, to really be standing with your chest out and like be proud to be an American. I think that the I want to say the progress that has been made. You can look at like my pops told me when he went to Mexico. They went on a cruise or whatever, and he was talking about how the darker skin Mexicans are treated so much differently and live in way worse conditions than the light skin. And my thing was that, and the thing is, they're not even interested in changing it. Wow. You know what I mean? That's just what it is, and your kids, and you know what I mean. So there are countries where you can see that like we have been much more progressive as it relates to that, and so you know what I mean. I think that it may be beneficial for us too. And I can't, you know what I mean? I say maybe because I don't think I got no fucking real, you know what I mean? The answers. But I think that it could be beneficial for us to like take more pride in the thing that our, you know what I mean, ancestors fought for us to be a part of, even though you can come up with all of the reasons why. Go ahead, Tony.
I actually was wanting to shift the conversation because we got 5 minutes and it's one topic we didn't get to.
What's that?
As far as Gervonta Davis, that's the only thing we didn't address that we got up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I know it's gonna shift.
Y'all watch the fight? I don't mind.
It's a hard ass shift.
It was a hard shift, but I didn't see no other way. I didn't see no other way, and we didn't want to get there. We got 5 minutes. I ain't see no other way to get it in. So I didn't want to skip that topic though because we do have it in the list.
The title, yeah.
Yeah. So I did want to address that real quick. So yeah, what did y'all think?
Man, I love the fight, man. That was a hell of a fight.
I think Gervonta lost.
I think so too. Honestly, like especially when he took the knee and stuff like that, and they talking about he got like grease in his eye or whatever.
Never seen anybody knee and not get a count.
And not, yeah, exactly. So, but like just standing like toe to toe with each other, like Roach was swinging with him, bro. Like
for sure. They said that he had sparred him like 3 times. So one of the things that in the post conference he was saying like that's when you don't have that element of surprise, and you're gonna get a fight to where, you know what I mean, it's gonna be more of a chess match. And I think that Gervonta respected him a lot more. Gervonta said that he didn't know what round it was.
Yeah.
But I also think that you could see them playing chess.
Right.
And my niggas knew what his rooks was doing. He knew what his pawns was doing. He knew what, you know what I mean? Exactly. He knew what every piece was going. You know what I mean? He even when you seen Gervonta get that counter off, Buddy had to counter after that.
Bro,
you know what I mean? It was real art. Like it was.
You could tell he did his homework.
He had his number, bro. He had his number.
See the whole fight, but from what I saw, it looked like Roach just showed up. It wasn't even that Gervonta did a bad job. I think he might have underestimated or something. I don't know. But Roach showed up. Like I don't know. From what I seen on the highlights, it do look like it could have been a draw. I can't necessarily say because there was times where Gervonta seemed like he was running the fight, but I didn't see the whole fight.
Yeah, I'd say like I think a draw wasn't a bad take only because of Gervonta probably was winning a lot of.
That's what I was thinking. From what I see,
you said a lot of the what
earlier part.
He was running the
I only had Buddy won the second round. I only had them early rounds. Like I only had him winning the second round.
And I think that like the back half, there was a few debatable ones, but there's a lot of them that you could have given the Roach. There to me there's like 2 or 3 split rounds where it's like it's however you kind of
whichever way you want. Yeah, for sure.
Like I wasn't mad at it. I think that it'd have been bigger if Gervonta would have won on like a 116, 112.
That would have been.
I think that like where it's at, it just means we're gonna get another fight.
Well, I appreciate getting another fight. I'm actually going.
It looked like a good fight.
My thing is that, bro, if you kneel, bro.
Yeah, that's a knockdown.
If you kneel, bro, it's a knockdown. I've never seen it not be a knockdown, bro.
But to also be fair, Roach did kneel at a part in the fight also.
I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, he did.
I said he did too, but I didn't.
Yeah, it was a part because of even the commentators like, well, shit, Gervonta did it in whatever. Because,
did he?
Oh no, this for sure happened. This might have been like
that, bro.
This would have been between 9th. No, it wasn't 11th round. I'd say between 10th and 8th round. It's somewhere in there.
See if I can find a picture.
But it was within like just look it up. I'm sure it'll probably be a picture. It was a great fight. I understand what y'all saying with the whole idea that it should have been a knockdown, it could have been a knockdown. I would also say there wasn't a punch that caused it.
No, I could understand where you could get that. It's like, but he had touched him. He had touched him twice right before he kneeled down. Yeah. He had touched him twice. So I'm not saying that Gervonta kneeled from the hit. It didn't look like it was anything based on what you did to him. Yeah. I'm not saying that, but at the end of the day, that ain't up. That shouldn't be up for debate. That ain't how the shit is. You know what I mean? That shouldn't be left up to a motherfucker to be like, oh well, it didn't look like you were hurt. Fuck, then you took a knee, bro. Yeah, like, and I'm a Gervonta fan.
Me too.
I'm a Gervonta fan. Like, if he fights, I want to see it, bro. I'm going to. But at the same time, I've never seen that before, bro.
Yeah.
And even when I Googled, I still can't. I'm gonna have to look it up.
It still looked like he was doing good to me. That was the thing. It's just Roach was there. Like this was a viable opponent. Roach was a good opponent for him. This wasn't some cheap fight where it's like you got somebody who drastically worse than you, or they way under the weight class, or they got to be up a weight class. They ain't
even though Roach was supposed to be, I guess he was coming up. He looked bigger in general.
Yeah, they said he was big.
Yeah, he did a good job taking the punches.
He did it. He did. Both of them do great.
Yeah, because Gervonta got caught.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. But Gervonta get hit all the time, bro. He get hit a lot. Yeah. That's one of the things I just chalk it up to, like, he's allowing you to gain some confidence.
Yeah.
Not in this fight because that was a chess match, but a lot of the times when he's fighting people that everybody say was a no contest to begin with, I feel like he leaves himself to get open to make you feel like that's a shot that you can land, just so that counter comes. You know what I mean? That's at least that's what I've been giving him. You know what I mean? That's what I've been giving him the whole time.
Even taking the chance with the close up so he can get a shot. Like, yeah, he's a masterful fighter, bro.
And you can see him trying everything, all of the moves to try to get you to bait and do something that you know what I mean? He was doing all of that. You can look at the chess moves he was making. He dropped his hands. You know what I mean? He did everything, like the quick little feints. He did everything he could do.
Gervonta like that much more seasoned than Roach was?
You said
say it again?
I was answering a question in the chat.
Is Gervonta much more seasoned than Roach is? Like, I'm not sure how much more
seasoned. I don't know how long Roach been fighting.
He say he fought.
I think both of their records are close. Amount of fights is not that big of a difference. I think Roach only lost twice. I think he might be like 28.
Now, what I was looking at was it just looked like Roach really trained good for this fight, and Gervonta really just underestimated where it could be at, because I think he could have. He didn't take it up a notch. I don't think he did went under what he does in other fights.
It's only a 5-fight difference. Gervonta 30 with 28. He 25, 1 and 10.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, he did a great job.
I know that bad just went up for him for sure. That bad just changed.
He did a great job, and what I thought was dope was it seemed like he got better during the fight. Like, as the fight went on, it's like Roach got better. Like, that's what I seen.
They started letting the hands go, and he was getting the best of some of them trades, bro. Yeah. He was getting the best of some of them trades, and honestly, like the only reason why I say he lost, if it wasn't for him putting his knee down, the draw, okay, you know what I mean? I'm okay with the draw, but when you do that, bro, like, I've never seen that. Hell, they counted Floyd when Floyd did the, you know what I mean? He had to get counted, like, so. Never seen it. Even Terrence Crawford was saying that in online. Like, bro, nobody's ever seen a nigga not get the 8 count. The standing 8 count. If you kneel, this is standing 8, bro.
Yeah. Roach punches was pretty calculated too. That's why I liked about it too. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't just throw no punches at Gervonta like that, because he's a great counter fighter too. So I definitely love what I seen though out of him though. So I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah,
big fact.
Okay, yeah, we out of time here, so. Yeah, y'all end it how you want to.
All right, gotcha. So nonetheless, this has been a fire conversation. We kind of went all around the world. We've talked about Zelensky and JD Vance and Trump getting pressed in the Oval Office. Oh no, them pressing Zelensky.
Pressed the shit out of his ass.
Yeah, pressed him in the Oval Office. We went from the best and worst. It sounds like there is a unanimous. This is a little bit different than the Gervonta Davis fight. We all know that Pharrell era was the worst one, and I think where we got lost at, we started talking about Black empowerment a little bit, and just our POV when it comes down to us as Black Americans and how we should look at the power structure and how we should operate within and against the power structure, and those are always like fun-spirited, fire conversations. We have another voice on the panel today that has, he kind of stood in for Johnny, but he is his own person. He's held his own. I enjoyed that Freddie Gibbs take. I liked it. Sure. But nonetheless, I'll allow you just kind of like some ending words, and we'll kind of wrap everything up. We appreciate you pulling up on us, Kenny.
Yeah, no problem, man. I enjoyed this, man. It was fun. Appreciate the invite.
No problem, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And nice meeting you, Q.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? The whole staff, man. I'll definitely be tuning in y'all every Sunday, man, watching y'all. and stuff like that. That's inspiring me also to keep going because I also do YouTube myself, man.
Yes,
and,
shout your page.
Yeah, man. So that y'all check out Sacrifice TV Gaming. You know what I'm saying? For the gamers out there, be playing NCAA, got different requests. Everybody be watching.
My boy went through the classics. He went through the classic, all of the classic fighting games. Just got them over the time period as they move forward. That shit was dope.
Yeah, so I call it the home of the retro classics. I'm gonna show
Mhm.
whatever, you know what I'm saying? So definitely tune into that. But once again, I definitely want to thank y'all for having me.
Oh no,
Oh,
for
brother,
sure.
appreciate
it. All right. So with that said, this has been the To Be Fair show. Make sure that you find us on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook.
You missed Facebook. Yeah, Facebook.
What's that one you and Johnny got to join?
Man, get the fuck out of here, bro.
All right, I ain't gonna do it. Never mind.
YouTube, bro.
All right. So nonetheless, we got Tone on the boards
for sure.
We got Kenny here with us in the building. I am Q.
Old Head Real,
and we out.